9 maps they have played, Comeback only map where he didn't drop 20 kills was that 13-3 split against Koi, and that was probably because there was not enough rounds and Kraven was just dominating everyone there. He was just stealing all of the kills. So basically Comeback is unbeatable every time he's getting 20 kills. It doesn't matter who is the opponent, what is the map, what is the agent that he plays. He's consistently there and he's finding those entries as well.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing is, Comeback, the only obstacle in his way at
Oh
this
shit!
point in terms of that.
What's my title? I need to change my title.
Is Yas from Enterprise Esports, and he has been popping off. I mean, we saw in their last game against Movistar Koi Phoenix,
titles.
maybe,
BCF Pacific. This is
operator shots today as well. He was absolutely insane during their game against their whole series against Movistar Koi Phoenix. So
do we need to put anything special in here?
Obviously backing him up, and everyone on that team has been warming up into this tournament so well. Look, we were unsure what to think of them on the stage. Obviously last time around they did not make it out of the group stage. They were in a group with CGN Esports and BBL Pacific. They did not make it out of that whatsoever, so we were unsure if Northeast had gotten even worse on the EMEA stage since.
Right. Let me see if this restream chat works. One sec. I can combine YouTube and I combine YouTube and Twitch now, so I should be able to.
They seem to be the only team that can actually give BBL Pacific a run for their money, and we're hoping that they can keep that up today. They managed to win one map in the best of 3. They played against them in the upper semi-finals, and now we're hoping
Okie
that they can do
dokie.
the same thing this time.
Let me know if the volume's okay. Let me know if the levels are okay. Okay. Hello, Gianni. Hello, the Titanic. Welcome back, Titanic. Hello, Beth Emma. Matteo, how you doing, bro? Zuna. How come you watch this game? Because of the finals, and because I haven't watched much tier 2, and because my boy Doma's in the final. Did you see the clip of LaRock on Haven? I certainly did, yeah. I certainly did. Hey, Deluxe. Hello, Zorro.
A lot of people are kind of relying on killers in that team to make.
Who's actually farming right now on these teams then? Who are we looking at for?
In clutches if the whole team fails on the other side.
Yeah, for sure. Look, you mentioned.
I know they don't love me covering up sponsors, but where are the sponsors? Oh, there we go.
Have highlighted for us here with Loiter and Zeke. In this one, obviously, two very different roles going on between these two players, but let me know what you're thinking.
So. I'm gonna highlight one stat that I want to focus on here. That's gonna be Loita's average assists. That's gonna be 10.2. It's around like half an assist per round. Loita is a
I hate to do this to the guy.
A lot of the times that stat is inflated, but with the way BBL Pacific plays, this stat is actually important because they go up through.
Okay, that's fine. At least he contextualized it. When you play Omen, this stat is always inflated considerably. Loiter's farming. LaRock's doing okay. Ooh, LaRock with the Raze. Raze being the IGL. Comeback's farming and Loiter's farming right now, it seems like. And then LaRock's doing LaRock things. But I guess statistically he's always going to be slightly worse on Breach because Breach is Breach. Omen's a bit easier to get numbers on. Enterprise. I think Zeke's been playing well, isn't he? He's playing alright. This guy's playing pretty well when he's on Jet especially. Killers is playing well. Saki's playing okay. Doma's playing alright too. Yeah, so no like huge standouts from Enterprise, but like everyone's playing pretty well. Like no one's playing bad.
Yeah, sure.
Kruin's farming too. Yeah, Kruin's playing pretty well. Do I have YouTube chat on? Yes, I have integrated YouTube chat and Twitch chat, so I could see both now. Have I seen the Sean Garrett's video? Yes. I think there's a very serious thing that he's talking about. I don't think he did the best presentation of the analysis part of it, but
before we
I think the first half of the video is very important.
get towards that first map, I just want to,
I don't think it was a bunch of nothing. I think that there was some very important things that he highlighted. I just think that when you go into an hour, I felt like I was alpha, yeah, in one of my VOD reviews. I was getting a bit bored, you know, and I was just looking at things that I thought was potentially just some bad Valorant. But I definitely don't think we can disregard the claims just because of a video that could have been presented slightly better. So I do feel bad for memeing on it a little bit, but at the end of the day, memes come first from it. Yes, the chat is working. Look. Look.
People with a shorty from halfway across the map, something like
got you here. YouTube is not being neglected right now.
If we're going to see that coming out of them this time around, or whether we're going to see a similar start to the series as the 2-1 against them in the upper bracket, because obviously that start in their best.
So what's predictions for today? What's the map pools like as well?
The other two maps were pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, I think
they were the last time they played it was extremely close. BB, I'd imagine so. Lotus might get banned just because. So BCF will ban Ascent.
That they played against each other. You highlighted as well. I think that was brilliant from Enterprise Esports. In Split,
are they good at Split usually? No, they are good at Split. What map? Lotus.
What Enterprise is doing because they're playing so bad.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Really brave plays in terms of what some would classify as
maybe they ban Sunset.
Obviously going through a smoke with the season
Icebox.
going with the
bro, they're gonna still play Pearl. They're gonna win Pearl. Lotus. I mean,
I don't think a lot of teams
what are Enterprise's good maps?
Kind of plays. But then again, Enterprise Esports, they were executing their fundamentals quite good.
I mean,
they understood completely BBL Pacific's play.
I mean, look at Haven, they just lose 13-2 to BBL. It's crazy.
That information from that previous round of baiting out those
so BBL ban Ascent.
Actually be slower in the upcoming round to have a complete pace switch and go full on X.
Maybe they let Lotus through this time just because maybe Pacific got like a lucky map versus them. I can see BBL banning Sunset and Sunset and Ascent. That's gonna be my call. That's what I'm calling. Name a woman. Have I named Mari before?
It is really important to have a deep map pool, and these guys actually have similar favorite maps. I mean, this is what we've seen a lot at this point in EMEA Challenge.
I'd feel like that person in that video that gets asked to name. Is that the same Name a Woman? It is, isn't it? When the guy just approaches her on the street, just says Name a Woman. Name a woman you don't hate. My mother.
Possibly Pearl. Actually, yeah, no, probably Pearl because BBL Pacific get the double veto.
Yeah, I would love to see Icebox as well.
Do you think Shungar has hyped up the allegations just to create an absolute stinker of a video? No. I know Sean well enough to know that
I think the point that you made, Pearl being
I think that there is
against Enterprise Esports.
How do I say that? He's not an attention grabbing kind of person, is he? The only bias he has is he has a team in tier 2.
Yeah, no, it is interesting. Okay. Sunset gone. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Enterprise Esports. Look, I mean,
look at me, man. Look at me. Look. Coaches need to start hiring me just to do their vetoes, I think, because some of the vetoes we see in EMEA,
they like maps that they're well prepared on.
Just too easy for me. Too easy.
They play so unpredictably, we don't know what's going on. You know, it speaks to
do they?
Team, right?
I don't know if you guys need it. Anyone who's vetoed against Fnatic recently might need it.
Just be all over the place. But I think for BBL Pacific, definitely they are a disciplined team. They have a deep scrapbook and they like to keep things relatively.
Sean Garris has been. Why is Power not a VIP? Right? So because I'm now on restream chat because you guys complained I wasn't responding to YouTube, and I can't do that on restream chat. One sec.
Not veto to me.
Absolutely not. I mean, Enterprise Esports, their previous Pearl game was 3 months ago.
Right, I VIP'd him, Alex. Come on.
It's been a
Banter for Trent. Hello, my favorite chatter.
Best in Icebox. They've been banning that out in this tournament as well, but especially against.
Do you think that works in Restream chat actually? Maybe. Actually, this is kind of cool. I can switch between the two. That's kind of cool. I can just switch between the two. And then, yeah, okay. I think I got it. Who are you watching with, Mini? Who is joining Mini's Overwatch party? Bro, I do it solo. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a solitude guy.
As well. Actually, I don't think they're gonna stick with the composition of ISO, Jet, Vice, Sova, and Astra. I think they're probably gonna switch it up. I would love to see a Tejo in there. I think that would.
Congratulations, you received 100 messages today with Restream chat. Restream chat is giving me achievements already. That's a bit annoying. A little bit annoying. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, maybe we would like to get.
It's making me try to tweet.
I've heard a lot of people saying that, like, Tejo's moving out of the meta now. Obviously, going to get nerfed right after. Well, in the competitive patch.
Right, there was drama with this too. Koi. So Enterprise already played a map today because Koi had a tech pools issue. And so Enterprise beat Koi yesterday 13-0, but then had to replay this map today.
He gets removed from the meta here, but no, we're not going to see.
Don't think it was the soundest decision of all time, but
bringing it quite close to a mirror match.
Koi were gonna get screwed over, so I can kind of see that something had to happen. But you know, bit of taste in my mouth left after this one. So maybe Enterprise actually works for them now. Warmed up after a nice 13-5. It was a few hours ago though. It was a few hours ago.
I think it's kind of misleading. Yeah, you have the wall that you can follow in terms of going to that B long, but apart from that, I don't think it's that great. Neon, your rule composition is
instantly a pro pick, man. Instantly these dweebs have got to go to this team's worst map, this team's best map. So this could be a rough first map to watch, honestly. This could be me not locking in.
A lot of these teams, I think Bitfix to be taken as example, they were way too passive with the Vice. They just placed the wall, didn't have any contact play off of that wall.
I keep getting atted by all the Foot fans. Foot fans? You know what I mean. Foot really want me. The Foot fans want me. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's going to happen, but
I mean, this map is going to be difficult for them, if not a complete sweep. Obviously, last time we saw them play against BBL.
Big feet, yeah. I'm not a big feet guy. Worst map first always gives me bad vibes. I mean, that is just how best of fives go.
So I do think this is going to be tough to start off with. It's going to be a bit of a difficult watch, Enterprise esports fans. So I think you're just going to have to stick with it. But look,
100 Thieves or MIBR.
I think they have a decent chance of getting into this one, but I don't think I would be upset as an Enterprise esports fan. And this is just a warning to you here for what you might see, because look, we tried to safe for work material here on the Valorant EMEA channel, but I do think we have to put
I see why.
Some kind of warning, content warning on this one, as the first map we're expecting very.
If it was a VCT game, MIBR.
And maybe in a quite dominant fashion.
Yeah, anything.
Would you not prefer as third map? I mean, yeah, of course I would, but that's not. Your lighting is the worst thing I've ever seen. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm just having a look. Yeah. One sec.
We had this comp a week ago. We picked this comp a week ago. I'm not quite sure if it's the same for Pearl.
Is that better?
They have practiced this comp in the past 3 months.
Is that better?
That shows from
Actually, I had to open my blinds up properly, and now I feel like a fucking real human being looking at light. Makes you less orange. I quite like the Jersey Shore look, to be honest with you. How much do you all think Toronto attendees are sandbagging these EWC games?
Again, as you say, I would love for Enterprise.
I think I need to plead the fifth on that one, and not because I think that that's actually happening, but.
Hopefully looking strong to start out the gate. We'll find out very shortly here with Pavlos and Winter. Take it away, guys.
BBL Pacific, indisputably the best in Tier 2 in EMEA. But today,
Hey, Mini, nice tweet, mate.
final. Enterprise
Which
could
tweet?
change that, but look, when your opponents have two bans coming
Are you
into
making
the
fun
best
of
of
your
five,
home state?
there's no
Yes.
avoiding Pearl this time around, Summer.
Yeah, it's a rough one for Enterprise to start off with. We're talking about them being a team that needs to warm up into series.
I have done him there, to be honest with you. Loiter's just giving it, man.
This is the being the perma ban after.
Right, we're on Doma cam today. What's Doma playing? Yoru. I mean, he was playing it in my ranked game.
At least make it competitive.
Achilles is dead.
Already you can see a quick
Achilles is
response
dead.
coming from that right-hand side
Post
here
plant
from
B
that
for
Pacific.
Enterprise 5v4. It's not the worst position ever for Enterprise. A post plant on B is not the worst idea. Pistol round though, the flooding with the pistol is going to be difficult. Because obviously they're just going to group up and play like ants. So they can't overwhelm this site. But B's usually not that hard to post plant from.
Ooh, that's a great moment for Doma to swing. Flash coming out, but Larek is so damn fast. Zeke sidestepping the
Lurk
stun.
happening behind.
Shot through, and
Great
now
from Zeke, that's
Lurk from
beautiful.
Zeke could become relevant to the
He's done it.
situation.
He's
Zeke
fucking
still
done it.
under pressure. It's where you make
A
Doma
wonderful
to
round
right.
from
Start the
Zekarino.
series with a bang.
And that's exactly what you need.
And this is
for
why
this
I hate
team.
pistols that give up
Everyone's
B.
looking at BBL Pacific to be the
Giving up B
champions
seems like a
already of
big
Tier
waste
2.
of
Just
time.
off
You
three
even
this
get that opening kill,
dominance
it doesn't matter.
in split one,
I
EMP,
wish
and
that
also
BCF in this moment
Enterprise,
actually did a
they
bit
were
of a
team
push.
that's been the only one that can push BBL
They
Pacific
had
to
the timing to do it, they had the
any
priority
sort
to
of
do it,
margins
they
that
had the
starts
agents to
make
do
them
it.
sweat, so coming
They
into
should
this
have
one,
gone
it's
for a bit of a push
definitely
out on the
something
flank.
to watch out for,
Luckily for them,
Rumble
Enterprise didn't play back here,
was
because they would have been
Permaban.
truly
It's
fucked if they
exactly where you
did.
wanna start with a pistol win, give you some confidence.
But I liked the aggression from Enterprise there to get in their face. Fast A from Enterprise, easy peasy. Just your anti-eco.
Feels over, Summer. Look, I know the desk was talking about we haven't seen this map in a long time from Enterprise, right? We don't know what to expect.
I'm wondering
I
if...
feel like it's kind of the same for Pacific. Coming into this best of 5 from the low bracket, if you're Enterprise, you know it's a real possibility.
BCF can go for this A main stuff with like heavy numbers because they have the Euro to TP back. The only thing is they only got the Cypher to deal with like the choke here. The Cypher and the Astro. Whereas like teams who have Vice do this sometimes because the wall on B is such a pain in the ass to deal with that like if you try to force through B then at least there's a lot of stall from the Vice. I'm going to be interested to see if BCF are going to be... I haven't watched them this year that much. Whenever I do watch them, I do think that they play fairly average Valorant macro-wise, but they have very, very good players, is the way that I usually see them. So I want to see if they've got better at playing Valorant, or if they're just going to continue to just diff people individually. I feel a bit mean saying that about a tier 2 team, but realistically this is a team that we expect to be in VCT next year. So we have to set the standards quite early. Right, let's have a look, chat.
The moment I say there's a phantom, it gets degraded to a bulldog. Alright.
Epic pen
Wanting to make sure there's some extra
is what I'm using.
maybe prefacing the importance of that instead of the sheer firepower.
Look how sneaky Yas is. He's already made his way through connector. Comeback is at least a win.
Okay, nice little default here.
Whiffed it. That's a very unlike comeback. He's been top of the charts the entire tournament. First in ACS, first in rating, first in KD, first in AD.
The other narrative, if Enterprise start winning this, it's about whether, like, I guess it's a difficult narrative. Enterprise have been extremely close to BBL Pacific every game this year so far. So I guess the narrative realistically is, can Enterprise actually finally do it? Rather than what I was going to go for, which is, do BBL sometimes crumble? I think the crumble narrative has to come in for that final game at the end of the year, when it's like the big stakes game. Because they did probably didn't play the best in that grand final last year.
Fully gambling that they can retake B, but it doesn't matter if they're all going to go into A.
You need to create a distraction in art, and that's exactly what Enterprise look to do first. They will be greeted by a trap. And even though they're able to find one in the process, the stars in the middle are causing a lot of pressure for Enterprise. They've got to amp up the pace. Getting onto the site, putting the spike down is of utmost importance. Flash will delay, loiter, getting faced with killers face to face. Zeke, though, will keep things competitive. How is this a 2v2?
Okay, good backside hold from BCF, a bit of individual diff. I think Enterprise in this mid round, they ended up, they started quite nicely with a B default. They didn't pressure B enough though, in my opinion. Like the Astra was getting the line the entire time, had full information. Prodding here and then ending a split, I like this idea from Enterprise. The problem I had with it was they sent 3 people A main and only 2 people through art. I think they need to send 3 people through art and 2 people A main, because art is the more important space to control, and it's the harder spot to get through, in my opinion. If that makes sense. If the defenders are up here, then they can crunch. So again, Enterprise default AIP long, they're using the smoke, but they're kind of not really understanding this default, I don't think, well enough. Like, this Astra is now just literally just sees nothing, so he's just like, well, they're not be long. G2 do this kind of default, but it's to get the Vice Wall out and to threaten potential execs behind it. I think using the full smoke here was a problem from G2's defaults, and Enterprise just copied it, I think. I do like these finishes on art, though. I like this finish on art. I think this is the correct, you know, the drag 3 rotations across. Art is the most important place to go after this if you're not going to go for a BXX. The reason for that is the post plant on A, just having this space isn't very good. But being able to post plant from both directions is extremely strong. They're overthinking it a little bit. I mean, BBR are in a good spot with this kind of contain on the backside. Enterprise feeling like they can't get the spike down. It's a ballsy play here. Bro, what is this? Melon's overcooked, man. I mean, it's kind of worked, I guess. Has it? 4 seconds. He might not even have. Oh my god. That was a bit of an overthink, wasn't it, guys? A little bit of an overcook.
Lost in the sauce, Pavlos, and it's burning on the kitchen stove because I feel like it's a little bit overcooked in that one.
Oh yeah.
A little bit overcooked.
You can smell it already.
You can see the idea they wanted to try and pull those rotations.
Zeke is the IGL as far as I'm concerned. Fast opener onto art. Low buy. Force the hero vandal. I like the idea from Enterprise. But Larocque is Larocquing. Larocque on Neon is interesting.
Yeah, the 17-year-old is already shunned in the round.
Bro, it's those kind of rounds I see Enterprise. Like when I was watching them the other day for a little bit, it's those kind of rounds that just bite them in the ass, I feel like. I don't think you'll ever see BBL Pacific make a call like that. It's like Enterprise they have too many like slightly more experienced players for their own good in those moments. Narrative: Zeke returns to champs MVP glory after finally squashing the beef with Mixwell.
It seems as there's a little bit of a stack from Enterprise over towards that B-long barrier. And
is BBL Pacific like the M80 of EU? They're more like...
Could get a chance to get active.
It's hard to...
Again, he has support in regards to...
In terms of skill, yes. Maybe even like the guard. In terms of play style, no. Although the only I didn't catch much of M80. The game in the finals they played wasn't very good though. Versus 2G, it was really bad when I watched it.
Trying to get his ultimate online as early as possible for Doma. It's a lot of information that can be fed over towards the attacking side should they get that ultimate. out nice and
You watched an interview with Zeke and he got no charge because he how he used to be. I'm not gonna lie, that makes sense. I would to be completely open about it. I would have avoided Zeke. I think that if he's able to prove himself in this team as like a leader, and he's changed and he gets good references, then I think we could see him in VCT again. But until that happens, there's a big asterisk on him.
Time remaining, Enterprise will have to pull the trigger on this attack. Larok has gotten himself very far forwards into a deep corner that might just go unchecked. Instead, Zeke is able to find him out.
BCF are just in position every single time to deal with this A site. I love how they're playing it, to be honest with you. They're not over-committing too much, but they're making some of these ballsy Turkish plays at the same time. Oh, no time. So you notice that like they just played contain back here. Like they'll make some Turkish plays on the site that are a little bit risky, but they're good enough to do it. And every time there's like 4 people like here ready. So Enterprise needs to be... Enterprise needs to kind of make the read that BCF are fast rotating over to here. And there's no reason not for them not to, because the B default isn't actually stopping this player from getting information. So Enterprise probably need to... What would they do? They either need to make this default better, which isn't going to happen in the middle of the game probably, so that this Astra doesn't just immediately get the line the entire time and pressure them off. Or simply throw in an art fake, I guess. Like, can they just leave some people here, do this art pressure, rotate across, and then they just walk into B? It's probably a good idea. These things are all, though, they're off the back of a timeout now. And so calling it off the back of the timeout, BCF, they might just throw something random in the mix now. And so, like, calling it now is risky. Like, as soon as you time out and your coach makes a hard read on how you should play against the style the other team's playing, the other team might just fucking switch it all up anyway.
It's a map that they're comfortable on and play relatively regularly.
It also looks a little bit like Enterprise thinking a bit too much in the mid rounds as well, right?
I think if you're going to talk about, like, I don't really want to talk too much about EWC, but if you think about the format they have, it is very different than the format that Riot want to do. Riot wants to stream every game on LAN in front of an audience in an arena. It's a lot easier to get games in through the year if they're being streamed online. It is why Counter-Strike is one of the reasons why Counter-Strike can do more, but it's not the only reason. The question comes down to how valuable is it to play on LAN in an arena and have like even like one stream. Like, I've always thought that maybe having 2 streams on at once, A and B stream, would be fine, but it's not very Valorant, it's not very Riot-esque, you know.
Guardians and killers, but it's the comfortability of knowing exactly where your gaps are.
Also, yeah, single limbs and some best of one shenanigans is also not the best approach.
Timing peaks. They are aware of the gap over towards sewers, and that's why you have.
What's the lore on Zeke? I'm not going to go into it, but I'm just saying, as someone who's been around long enough, like, Zeke would admit it too, I'm sure. I don't think he's going to be annoyed by me saying things like this. There's just a history where people have, like, known he's a little bit toxic at times and not the best teammate, you know? But again, I say it in a way that's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I wouldn't say that about a player that, like, I thought would be annoyed by it, and like maybe like Doma would be able to contextualize it for him a little bit if he did think I was being a dick or something.
The lane peak as well from Loiter will reveal no one has joined that location. 3 players towards his right-hand side will be happy to stick around.
I find it's better to, like, I've had interviews with players in the past where I've known that they've had bad references and have like a toxic kind of trait about them. And in interviews they would almost pretend that it wasn't true. and I would far prefer a player kind of, you know, not embrace it, but kind of like admit it and kind of look inwards a little bit about it and kind of, you know, rather than just pretending it's not part of their history as a player. I think it's much better to, you know, be reasonable about it and recognize it. Like, as a coach, I'd much rather that than someone who just ignored it and said, no, all the people you spoke to are chatting shit. I was a good player. I had nothing wrong with me. Who's the best teammate I know? Yeah, this is Doma from Summon FC and Fnatic, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get back onto the game because I've missed a couple of rounds now.
You're going to get put in uncomfortable positions.
Where I'm not locked in.
For the Enterprise side, that the very first map that they're playing,
I want to balance my yapping with my strategic insights.
Pacific, but it's also a map that they played.
Neon A main. Neon's literally solo taking A main based off the camera.
So it's by no means an
okay, just the cat. That's a problem.
You just have to get through this one.
Enterprise not breaking this camera for the rest of the game means that BBO are in a very good spot. They don't need to do anything. They can rotate how they want to. Very risky rotation from Larocque. And Loiter catches a kill through the smoke. Larocque really doesn't need to do what he's doing. He can just chill. With this camera, I don't think BBO are in the most comfortable understanding what they should do right now. Okay, I mean, they get that kill, it's fine. When you know that the opponent is kind of stuck in the space, like, you don't really need to like walk up and do too much. You can just contain them in, but it was a good time in from comeback. And like now with this camera, they've control A main. Like they control like too much for Enterprise to win this round. As long as the Rock doesn't do anything stupid, like he's kind of doing right now. If he just chills back here, he's good. Perfect setup right now. I couldn't think of a better way to play this round from BBO. Contained on all corners.
BBO Pacific just playing their corners. And just waiting for the right moment to swing outside.
Yeah, beautiful finish the round for them. Like genuinely, if I was to like try and put the pieces on the map where I want them, BBO had them all in the right spots. That camera is a problem for Enterprise. If they don't recognize this camera is happening to them, they've lost the game. They will not win any more rounds. These kind of cameras are ones that like you just pray you can get away with in some games, and you just win a game off of them. Luckily, Enterprise are probably going for a fast A with ults here.
It has been a green carpet for BBL Pacific coming through. On those rifle rounds, of course, we've had a couple of ecos from EP scattered in there. A little bit of a different approach, though. Yeah, they want to go for a full hit onto A, up the pace, dimensional drift invested. See if this is the key to success, but Killers has already dropped a comeback top.
That's crazy. You peek before the smokes and you get killed because of it. Overdrive from Larocque, he gets a lot of damage across. Rose also joins in. BBL Pacific don't want the pace to slow down at all. Need to keep their opponents under pressure. Comeback is so
A main exec with Euro Fado. It doesn't surprise me that it doesn't work. Honestly, I don't know what the obsession is with A main with a lot of teams. If you've been abusing B and you want to throw in A main with like your ults, I get it. But why haven't Enterprise threatened B this entire game? What is so scary on the B side of this map? There's no Vice. I mean, comeback is kind of scary, but like,
I just find it mad as well that comeback knows
he's gonna be wherever you are anyway.
Previous round, right? Took it onto the next round, but knows the next round from Enterprise is an eco, so draws out the outlaw. It's these little mini things that will just give him a big advantage. One shot, one kill, body shot. That's all you need. He's smart about it as well.
Okay, this is GG. Let's go next, man.
Guessing they can't adjust the strategy of, okay, maybe let's go and have an exploration over towards A because, well, Comeback's going for his own little exploration towards main with that outlaw.
Yeah, Comeback might just be in their heads. Yeah, that's true.
Position up towards mid from Larocque as a judge in hand. You can see the weapons that they've picked for this specific situation because they have money for days.
The composition's very much like they can overwhelm that I feel like they could overwhelm B very easily with this kind of composition, right? The Neon Wall, Euro TP. I mean, Killers has had his ult for 2 or 3 rounds now.
Never mind. Maybe this is actually going wrong again. A chance it will not be handed over.
It's just...
reveal.
It's like watching... I don't know. I'm not gonna say it.
Clean. It feels like they just brought the janitors in and wiped the floor.
That was such a nice reveal, though. Starkey getting caught trying to put some utilities help his teammates, but I don't think it would have even mattered.
They were doing hard B into A split facts at the start of the game when the problem was that they didn't threaten B at all, and the Astra just sat here, got info the entire time. And then when they did come this way, there was 4 people just ready backside here, and they were struggling to get through to plant.
Back then, they were showing the dominance and just needed a little bit of fine-tuning around the edges.
Where would BCF place if they're hype in EMEA? That's a good question. Let me have a look. I'd have to remember who actually came where in EMEA.
Yeah, a 3rd round would keep Enterprise within sight.
They would possibly be better than these 4 teams. Possibly. I don't think they're gonna...
We all know the infamous 9-3,
they could make it up to around here.
Regarding a potential pistol round win, and
But
thereafter gaining pace on the defensive
I'm being more conservative than I think most people would be. I presume most VCT teams get railed in prac by them, but I don't know if that matters.
Going for this B split.
I don't think they beat BBL in a head-to-head. It's all theoretical anyway, because this team just gets dismantled next year. BCF's definitely better than Foot. Didn't Foot beat them in the off-season with a substitute?
Why they wanted to bring this map out, and Enterprise scratching their heads. A lot needs to be done after this half. We'll be finding out soon if they can do it.
Did they? Let's have a look. I'm pretty sure they did. It was very close from what I remember. Am I chatting shit? Where is it? You missed it. They played with a substitute and Foot won, and yesterday was just playing random agents. BBL were in, like, this specific team were in their, like, prime practice mode from what I remember, and Foot were in their off-season mode. It was a very close affair, but, like, it was like Foot OT, Foot lost OT, Foot kind of won easy. So, like, I think it's unfair to say they would just immediately be, like, top 4 EMEA or something. But they might have got better since then. I don't know. Like, it's...
A best of 5 tends to be a long match that could see a team taking over the other in a war of attrition. So far, it doesn't look like we've entered that realm just yet.
Do you think there's a difference between performance online compared to LAN? I think it's greatly exaggerated, but I think the context of it being on LAN at the same time as being the biggest games of their lives is like a big combination. LAN in general, I don't think is that massive a deal. Maybe once you get to like big arena, Like the arena has an effect.
Yeah, this is a bit personal.
But just playing on LAN isn't, honestly, like back in my day, like people would call people onliners all the time. I can think of like 2 people in my head who I consider an onliner in Valorant. Whereas in like Counter-Strike, I think there was lots of onliners.
Starkey. He's left unchecked so far. Not yet unbothered. He can hear some commotion, so he'll be wary of his left-hand side. Timing is everything. Kreven in the grave. Loiter also
Help.
spotted.
Help!
They're looking to converge on his position, but Starkey won't
Okay.
go down without a
Nice
fight.
by
Yas
Starkey.
has joined in. That is a lot more
BBL
of
have
a surprise.
not cleared their
This is
corners.
the second pistol of the game that they'll be winning. I'm just looking forward to the buy rounds already. Look, sure, you can get yourselves this this force buy.
Double pistol, by the way.
I want to buy rounds.
Nice Enterprise.
Yeah, Saki just does such a good job backside, not only surviving long enough for the pack of his teammates to come down connector and support in the back lines, but also getting a couple of kills on his own. And yeah, pistol is super important for them coming into this one, especially since so far it has only been the pistols that they've been able to get on towards the boards. A nice boost to the confidence if they're able to convert this one as well. And yeah, BBL Pacific, they're not necessarily forcing into this. They have a shorty on LaRock who wants to get up close and personal towards mid.
Personal.
With the space you can gain.
Okay.
Well, Starkey, good for the first blood already.
Full eco is getting aggressive in the links just to close the distance is generally a decent strategy. But gonna be a clean round from Enterprise, it looks like.
This looks like it could be a clean one. 2 players left, and they might just be pincered in, especially if Enterprise opt for them push through double.
From what I saw, do I think that Fair Guy's cheating? I have not. I was barely paying attention to Sean's analysis after, like, after I saw a few of the rounds. I was like, well, I'm not gonna watch this for an hour straight. Like, I would need to go and watch the rounds and stuff, and I don't really know if that's gonna. Would that be something that's actually worth my time? Like, it's obviously an important issue, but is that worth my time? Am I gonna have any impact on this? Probably not. I doubt Riot's sat there waiting like, bro, Mini, when Mini does the VOD review, maybe we'll ban him. Like, I don't think that's how it works.
Especially after the first half.
Indeed, yes.
Doma? Nice. That's my boy. That's my duo right there. That's my carry. They're back. 10 for their back. It's going to be a 10-5 easy peasy.
Not only got double the amount of players available to them, but the 2 BBL Pacific players are well apart from each other.
What if Riot has the demos?
And noted one especially over
if Riot wanted me to help with the investigation, I would be more than happy to. But I don't think that I'm going to be called up. I do like that Mimi called Sean Garris Jimmy McNulty from The Wire. I'd happy to be Lester Freeman. If he's Jimmy McNulty, I'll be Lester Freeman. I don't know who Stringer is. Is Stringer fair? No, Stringer can't. Surely that's not it.
Do they even go for this in the sense of you could just save? Sure,
Who's Omar is the question.
The money is 0 on Rosanna LaRock. Comeback sure has 100 credits.
Sliggy is Cedric Daniels? No. Sliggy's not Omar. Sliggy has negative aura compared to Omar.
They know they're slim and they just want to maximize the next round for them. I respect that.
Riot would take it seriously from the context of, oh my god, Mini's tweeting about it. They wouldn't take it seriously from my actual analysis. If they were investigating it.
Unwinnable rounds and they ended up actually doing damage, so
I don't know. Maybe I'm underselling it, but we talk about let's not talk about it. We're talking about nonsense. There's a grand final as a tier 2 on right now. We're talking about nonsense.
Just not leaving things to
but the Wire analogy I'm interested in. Who in Valorant are the Wire characters?
And it's been dropped over to the 2 duelists. Exactly who you want to have it in their hands. Been trying to be the spearheads of this round. Should one fall, you recycle it back to the next person.
That is Fnatic, former Fnatic player Doma, yes.
Again, they want to
Yes.
put pressure over towards main.
Let's watch this
Couple of
peak tier
wards.
2
Also,
match.
the
I mean, it is
Seagulls are
peak tier
walking
2.
in towards mid. There's nothing really.
I mean, whether a team's dominated or not, it is
on the side of
peak tier
Enterprise,
2.
especially when you get
The
over
context
towards
is
our main
Enterprise
thing
don't like
is
this
the
map.
spicy utility
BCF
towards
are the
main.
greatest tier 2 team of all time, at least in EMEA. And they've picked the weakest map of their opponent. Of course it's going to look like this. Whew. It's 10-6. And it's 10-6. Lock in, guys. Lock in. You looking hella breedable, Mini.
Yeah, especially
Thank
if there's
you.
a weapon that they can recover. Rose now has it in hand.
This is going to be a good haunt. Broken instantly. Oh, you don't know people are so close. But you
Bro,
are
Zeke is
ready for
far,
either
man. Look at this
way.
guy, man.
Great spray from Zeke, and he was just this close to an ace. But Kraven,
Who's got the champs, buddy? Killers and Zeke, right?
you always have to respect.
Didn't they both win champs 2021?
Does increase his
We've got
chances.
2021 champs here.
But those are chances Enterprise will not take. Wait for Kraven to come into their arms instead. 6 now secured for Enterprise. Nothing yet given over on the defensive.
Garrett wasn't even this dominant. No,
That's exactly
but
what you need to
they
start
played
the
better
defensive
Valorant
gambit to get back into
without
this
being
game
mean.
to
I think that BCF are
show yourself
that
with
probably the
confidence,
best
not only
tier
in
2
this
team
map,
we've
but
had in
the
EMEA.
rest of the series, and it does force a
I'd
title
love to put
coming
someone
from
FC in
BBL
there, but it was a
Pacific.
different time.
Not happy with how things have been going so
Um,
far. The momentum is starting to shift in EP's favor.
And then the American tier 2 scene is just stronger, I think.
Yeah, this is an interesting one for BBL Pacific as a whole. Look, their coach Key, you know, we had interviews with Loiter, with a few of the players generally, and all of them say the same thing. If it wasn't for Key, they'd still be those players in
They
that
can.
making.
I don't know about the
Sure,
Ascension
they'll
rules
get
for
them down
BBL
to the crossing
Pacific
from here, which is what they
because
did.
of their relationship with BBL.
But Key was a person that got them to that next level, right? Giving them the tools that they can use to become the best. team
Hearing
in
that
Tier
statement,
2.
I know Mini's in on this
Second
match
best
fixing.
in the previous season, did get knocked down in the final mark in the grand finals in Ascension against Apex, but right now,
Bro, I don't need to match fix. My team just wins.
Yeah, no, when Apex gets removed from competitions, because they obviously did win Ascension and ascended to Tier 1, all eyes tune to second place to see what they can do in the following year.
Never mind your Omar. No, Omar's stealing from the scammers. Like, there isn't an Omar yet, but Omar is someone who steals from the crypto
a
betters.
bit of a push and pull as well from Enterprise. You don't want to
Like, I want to meet that person.
if there are
But I'm not
opponents
that
pushing
person.
Elsewhere, you are very detached from the rest of the team, from a potential crunch of your opponents. But little by little, BBL Pacific are closing.
You
up the
steal
distance.
players from tier 2 teams. That's true. I did steal players from tier 2 teams, but I didn't steal anything. I didn't do anything unethical.
Is where it's going. A site is its trajectory, and BBL Pacific.
Bro, I hate when teams do this. They just play like this.
Space. It's granted, of course, but they would be walking into a treacherous A site with a lot of Vice util around. 2 players with 1 color
Like,
spike that
no
could also help out.
no value on anywhere else on the
Steady
map.
was the
No,
race.
nothing.
And BBL Pacific make their move. Nightfall
Like, I like
instantly,
this.
and it looks
It's
like
okay,
they
but
were
yeah, look
waiting
at the
for it.
difference here.
Rock
How can I explain this better?
take over, and Enterprise aren't even able to respond. 2 players remain against the 5.
If Enterprise continues to play like this, BCF will win every single round going
I'm just
out.
impressed a lot
is
with
how I
Zeke
explain
to
it.
survive.
Like, there's zero
Obviously, with
resistance
the
at all on
combination
art.
of Zeke and Killer's utility over towards site, going through
And
the
then they're
three
not
to one
over-rotating
team,
the same way
Nancy
BCF
got
did
down
to
to
have 4
HP,
people
has
here.
to
They're not as
freeze on
confident to do
site.
that.
Someone's like stuck in the mud.
So,
But still,
Enterprise either
BBL
need to
Pacific
have
kills
something
in
to
hand with comeback,
beat
and
them on
talk
art,
about a couple of
or,
kills. Enterprise have managed to
you know, push out A main at a certain
steal
point,
on
maybe.
board, but still the time's ticking.
I prefer
Maybe
just
still a bit
actually
more
winning
costly
art, to be honest with
BBL
you.
Pacific,
And then if
but
you are
it's
going to be
just a
B-long, like,
assurance that it's an 11th on the board for
where's the
them,
what
and
reaction are we
at
going to
least a
do
break
if they
to the
take
drought of
this?
attacking rounds that have been in the last few.
I mean, I think they just need to have an art set up right now is the answer. I'm not going to lie.
Enterprise would have loved to get that streak going, but again, attend to advantage is a hard one to lose, and we are talking about a team that's miles ahead of competition. Now the rest of the teams around.
I mean, Starkey was in a good flank position, but these guys just fucked up their contain. I'll let them off a little bit, but I just hate when I see that, like,
still guns available, still money there for Enterprise to invest into weapons.
it feels weird to me to give up so much space.
There's an ultimate as well for comeback to work with. Should they go for those slight hits later on in the rounds and gain a lot of information, readjust your attack.
Bro, full A main. It's very strange. Nice from Doma. Doma operator player?
Doma,
Hello?
patient.
This guy can do it all.
Pays
He can
off.
do it all.
BBL Pacific do go for a bit of a spread out approach. Open wings. And yeah,
This art setup's not good
he's
enough.
fallen under
The A main
radar.
sub
His teammate
catches them
acting
off
as
though.
distraction in main. The stun does its job, and a get out of jail
Okay,
free card
now they go
delivered.
to an art sub. Don't overfight this, please, boys.
Rockets, or at least they will
Okay.
now.
Whoa.
That's an in and out kill and back to safety if I've ever seen one. Oh,
I mean,
Oh, no.
back has disconnected.
Replay the map.
oh,
Replay the map.
I wonder when that happened though.
I mean, he's had damage done to him, so
Yeah, that is true. That is true. So see the round to the end. That's exactly what BB. No,
30
not
seconds
disconnect.
left.
He's back. Okay, never mind. Maybe we're just looking down in double doors and we got.
I'm gonna become Sergio. Like, I love that guy, but I'm gonna start tweeting. I'm gonna start my tweeting.
Already. All right. Well, Spike will be going down. Enterprise look to respect it, and it has given time for Combo to join.
Hashtag
Number
justice
T-
for
TP to
justice for comeback. 11-6 up.
And BBL Pacific do like pushing the matter themselves, want to disrupt Enterprise from the get-go, and that's exactly what they're going to do yet again. Back-to-back flashes, but now Enterprise
Our coach has
know
an
what they can use,
advancing
so now
hairline.
they can
An
start taking
advancing
their steps
hairline.
forward. Yes,
The fuck does that mean?
appears on his screen, pulls the trigger, sidesteps Larox's bullets, Kraven all that remains, but Yas has come online, a quadra found. Overdrive now able there for him in the next ones, and a round very juicy for Enterprise, could allow them to gain some more pace on defense.
I think that initial kill over towards B main was really
that's what you
nice
get for
adaptation
playing with Mini, you go
coming
bold?
from Enterprise,
Oh,
right? 'Cause you
Doma's
saw
bold.
the hyper-aggression they had with 3 players running up. They'd spotted Loiter's positioning on
Bro,
that
I get some
close
weird
looking
comments, man.
angle
Coach
around
Mini
the
should
core,
model.
and this time,
Coach
they
Mini
put it
should
up into the
model.
hands of Doma, send Doma up to get that initial entry, because you definitely want to be favoring that weapon.
Really?
Long range picks angles, picks up an early entry, and it's an early entry. on
It's
the
it's
bottom
it's
of
it's
the
weird how
switch there.
anonymous people on my Twitch say the nicest things, and then gotta be told to model.
Doma,
Model for what? Yeah, model model for Santa's fucking workshop.
does he
The
expect
kid's
to
close
lose
model.
his left? I don't think he does. That is just delicious. Kreven also doubles down. Starkey gets caught in within his own smoke. BBL Pacific decide silent but deadly is the way to go.
Yeah, sneaky path for BBL Pacific players down big long, but the only issue is the rest of Enterprise players are coming in. Look how far away
You
some
got a
players
model
are.
for those
Look
little
how far
footstep short people used to
Boys
get to high
are.
cupboards. I love the idea of modeling for something that has no aesthetic appreciation. It's literally you're modeling for a functional cause. Like, I remember this is a throwback, but like I used to work at a printer's when I was like 21, and I distinctly remember so this
Maybe
guy
looking to try the same
was
thing
working
again,
with
pushing Yari up over towards Belong to get
like a
the
company that
victory,
has those
set
chairs
onto the
that go up.
players
Oh, this is a
like
bad
Loiter
drawing.
and
But you know, like
Kreven.
stair lifts for like the house where like someone will sit on it to like go up the stairs. You know, like for old people. They were selling those, and this guy had got his daughter to like model on the thing, And I was like, why are you getting like, and his daughter was like a good looking, attractive person. I was like, why are you getting your like daughter to model this? Like, surely it should be an old person. Why is this young, healthy 20-year-old, like blonde haired, like attractive person modeling for something that's going to be used by 70-year-olds? I really don't quite get the angle. It felt a bit weird to me.
He's gotten away with a few multi-kills, but now pressured by the Hunter's Fury, he is forced to dance.
And then long story short, I had to print them all out and then put them on a bunch of... I had to like put like... Yeah, I had to put, like, apply them to loads of Vans, vinyl. Fucking shit job that was. Anyway.
They're the ones that can actually take over the site. Steel Garden, and you're forced down to the pistols. This is a chance for BBR Pacific to actually do some heavy damage. Killers, again the one-on-one. Kraven is low.
Doma
seals the deal. Spike isn't down on the ground yet. It's not even close to it. Larok is crunched in, locked in.
Larok's got that like Primy style, doesn't he? He's got that dodge, dip, dive. I dip, dodge, dive. I can't remember the dodgeball quote, but he's just dipping and diving everywhere, just spamming that crouch button like nobody's business.
It's one of the preferred maps to go to. Second most played maps.
Bro, I hate these people, man. Look at him. Look, watch. He's crouched 3 times in the space of fucking 2 seconds, man. Fucking abusing the mechanics.
Not sure.
Overtime could be a possibility.
Yeah, I think you're calling it too early, Summer. Not just yet.
Maybe I'm willing it into existence, Pavlos, because right now...
Is that good or not? If it... There's no good or bad. It works for Primy, and it works for Larok.
And it's a triple physique into the round.
I guess it's gotta be good.
It's just a consolation on the way.
I don't see it being a bad thing.
When do you believe?
It's one of those things I think about sometimes, where it's like...
A 10.
A 10?
Enterprise win this one, I believe. I still feel like
sometimes it is stylistic expression when it comes to things like that. Like, when you think about 100-meter runners, like, I think is it Colin... is it Colin Jackson? I can't remember his name. I want to say Colin Johnson, but that's the name of my manager. Guy from like the 80s or 90s that was a really good runner, but he had like the weirdest technique ever. There was technically not good technique, but he was the fastest man in the world. So you're going to tell this guy he's using the wrong technique? Colin Jackson, yeah.
Yeah, it was a great reveal from Rhodes as well.
From what I know, he had a very strange technique. No, not British. He's American. Okay, fastest world record. 100-meter runners.
Just look at the position Kraven's got over towards Belong.
Get off.
It's just double look of the Astra and Cypher that they need to watch out for. Even if the spike is headed over towards A, released for an exploration.
You've got to be careful not walking into Doma.
I'm annoyed by this now. I need to find.
Larok actually has his head ripped apart, and now the dimensional drift just finds 2 players, and you know there's 4 only remaining. He's dropped back completely to the backside.
Doma?
Receives a bullet to the head, so that's
it's not a good flash.
Ooh, look at Doma posting up a little bit further deep.
Oh,
into a corner.
You'll take that. You'll take that.
How did you even connect that? But now you need to get the spike in the ground, and once one player is preoccupied, Enterprise might seize the chance to drop in, and that's exactly what they do. Nightfall, it comes in, makes come back a little bit low, but he'll quickly juice up to full health. Loiter seizes the chance to swing, and that's 1 pick already. This could be it. This is where BBR Pacific could potentially win the first.
Okay, Enterprise put up a good fight. Decent fight, but it is what it is. It's not Colin Jackson picking off. Bro, he's always on the analyst desk for 100 meters, especially during the Usain Bolt days. And he was just a bit of a salty cunt, but he was a world record holder. Michael Johnson. You think it's Michael Johnson? Michael Johnson. That, I think that's right. I think that's right. Yeah, it's Michael Johnson. Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. I mean, BBL Pacific need to be a little
Michael
bit
Jackson,
careful
Van
because
Silly.
they're
Thank you for
rounds
that.
away on a map that they,
If Michael Jackson with his moonwalk 100 meters world record.
you know, it was a
He beef with the Canadian dude. I have no idea about beef. I just know he comes across as a little bit salty when he's on the punditry. But like I think it's because he actually knows what he's talking about. But then it's also like there's a bit of an ego there because obviously he used to be a world record holder, and watching people like Usain Bolt just smash his records is kind of probably pretty difficult. Have I ever tried hurdles? No, but I came third in my year at high jump. I was talking about that today. Like everyone else was trying to do the flop, is it Frosby flop? And I did this. I just scissor kicked over it. So I came third in my year when I was in like year 10 or something. I would have been like 15. A whole foot smaller than everyone else as well. What am I doing? Why am I checking? PRX will win everything if you check DMs.
Pushed into R through that garden area, had found a gap, but in the end BBL Pacific they were usually kind of aware of those, and one of the reasons why BBL Pacific they have really good defensive information there was because almost every round Rose will drone from the door, will instantly get information.
I've
from
told you who to they will be happy to help, I'm pretty sure.
No wonder comeback once again over 20 kills. How does he keep doing it?
Yeah, I mean, comeback is made of different material, constructed alternately. I don't know what he's got going on, but you can take a look at a couple rounds for me. While
what I answered you there with Vlad is it should work. They have very good things.
Beautiful setup, play with the information that they have here on main. Let me play out this for you. This kind of highlights the comp that they have as well. They are very well equipped to fight against this.
Can I ask about Coach Potatoes? I started, sorry, we've been a bit slower because I've been.
All of the kills. And this is why
the way the duo works is that like Sliggy gets very busy with co-streaming, and then I'm a bit more free, so I do a little bit more of the kind of stuff. But then at the same time, it's like I've been very busy recently, like extremely busy, and I've been looking at this. I kind of prioritizing the stream a little bit more. So I was looking at Ascent today. Wait, this is interesting.
They don't have Doma in this fight. He's playing mid with that operator.
That's a much better way to do the fucking thing than what we do.
He's not in this fight, but the recon to
I might need to clip this.
A little bit to a different position. Let me pause here. Goes all the way here. You barely can see it. That small.
I tell this straight, it just zooms in. With that little summon actually is helpful. Yeah, your telestrator is better than ours.
I think this is brilliant from BBL Pacific. Then how they need to adapt here, and that's the work of Key that happens behind.
Ascent, yeah, we're gonna do Vice Deadlock, I believe. I think for Premier that should farm. I went on around about it yesterday how it's not good for like top 4 global event, but I think for Premier it should be pretty good. Pretty fun to play, to be honest with you.
A little bit better, but when they fought those early fights, they were adjusted well enough.
Indeed, thank you for that breakdown, and let's take another look at the maps from the best of 5 here. So first one taken away, and we expected that one to go to BBL Pacific. Let's make no
Lotus.
about that. I mean,
So Enterprise have picked Lotus because they beat them on it yesterday, but the problem is that BBL have only ever lost to Enterprise on it, so I still probably prefer BBL on this map. You're so smart and cool, Minion, totally not below 5'2". 5'7". I would beat up a few of you in this chat. Not all of you, but a few of you. Bunch of fucking Valorant noobs.
We'll see if they can warm up into things a little more today. We'll be right back after a break.
You're 6 foot. Even the people that are 6 foot need to calm down because you don't leave your house. He say anything about Sean Garrett's? I loved how I saw on Reddit. I love how I saw on. It's not average height in the UK. It might be average height in Asia, but it's not in the UK. What did I? Someone. So yeah, someone. There was a joke about my height on Reddit, and then someone responded with, "Yeah, Minnie's 5'4" or like 5'5," and then everyone just like upvoted it as if like it was. Like, people were making jokes about me being like 5'0", and then someone was like, "Oh, he's actually just 5'5", and that was like taken as fact. And I was like, "Okay, where's this come from?" I just said I'm 5'7". Don't let them get to you, Daddy. You're so hot and cool and tall. I hate the dweebs. I really wish I knew who the dweebs were that made all these fake accounts on my chat. I've said it before. I think Foxy GG is one of them. Like, I'm pretty confident Foxy is one of the dweebs making fake accounts. Him and Sayonara randomly in my chat sometimes. I think Foxy and Sayonara are the two prime suspects. The idea that Sayonara, who is literally the greatest tier 2 player we've maybe ever had, making a fake account from my stupid Twitch stream. Like, I'm streaming Doma right now, and I'm seeing none of his friends in my chat right now. I see none of Doma's friends in my chat. Like, what's going on? Where is the support for Doma? It could be Pansy. If it was Pansy, that would be funny. That would be very funny. She has been. I don't. It's possible, but not probable. Pansy would say that with her chest on main. Yeah, Pansy doesn't need to make fake accounts. Is Boaster? I don't think so. I don't think it'd be Boaster. It's the kind of shit I would do when I was a kid, but not the kind of shit that Boaster would do. Like, I was one of those people when I was a kid that would be stupid. Wait, two phones is here?
Hello and welcome back to Valorant Challengers.
Two phones is random. The fucking idiots, man. I fucking hate you guys.
Enterprise esports and things. Well,
it's the one the other day that was let me show you. Let me show you what happened the other day.
BBL Pacific took it away, and we were expecting that to just be the way things went. Another
Actually, I can't do that. I can't do that because there's a chance that I don't want to mess with someone, to be honest. But let's just say some of it goes a little bit deeper than just making funny fake accounts. It's some ludicrous shit.
Yeah, on that Pearl on the attacking side, it seemed like Enterprise.
Even if you hate me, Minnie, I'll always love you for finally giving a win to Boaster and Durka, even though you couldn't do it. That one mistake.
But then went for a double fake. Yeah, yesterday or previously, when
you're a fucking moron.
Pacific in Lotus, they had a brilliant attacking side. They were doing a lot of those fakes, and after they did a fake, they would go for a direct side execution, making BBL Pacific kind of second question some of the rotations that they had, and finding a lot of value out of that. But they also had a brilliant defensive side. Enterprise obviously were incredible in that map. They had a lot of confidence, and from the interview that we had with Loita, he kind of highlighted that they weren't ready there. They had slow reactions. They were kind of sleeping during that map.
See accusations? Nah, it's not you, Panzer.
For BBL Pacific, was that some kind of fluke? Because Enterprise.
The accusations are there's people. Well, Foxy GG keeps making fake accounts and coming to my Twitch channel.
Yeah, and I mean, we can remind you quickly of the mindsets going into this one from both of the teams. Maybe.
So my chatters thought that it was maybe you, but the conclusion was that you wouldn't need to make a fake account to do what he's doing.
They said, look, we're playing against a team that doesn't know how to play, therefore we don't.
You would just say ludicrous things without the need.
From such a bad team. And Enterprise Esports going
The other thing is that, like, I think it might be Sayonara too, and the idea that one of the the idea that a player who might become one of the GOATs of this game spent his initial years making fake accounts to troll me on Twitch. Like, I think that I actually think it's Foxy. I wouldn't be surprised if it's someone in your group. Like, I don't know if I say Foxy because it's funny, but like, you guys come into my chat 2 phones at very intermittent periods, and then like there's nothing, and then when there's nothing for a while, it's it's not 100%. Okay. I would presume I just had the best bet I would have if it was someone I knew. It would be people in your group, and I don't mind it, but some of them get weird, honestly, because some of them are a bit weird. Like if I showed you guys some of the stuff I get messaged about, there's some weird shit, and it's a bit strange.
It's a 1-1 on the record. So
Okay. 2 phones is debunking the conspiracy.
They look like to be going on a little bit of a walk. Spotted out one player, though, so
We saw your generational round on Pro a couple of days ago. Generational round on Pro? That doesn't sound like a good thing. What did I do? Right, let's watch this. Rose has just been absolutely sent to the Shadow Realm. 4 push. Is going to push at flank. I wonder how... Bro, this is interesting. But it's not going to do anything. So Enterprise win. Probably the hardest pistol in the game to win. I think Defense Lotus is the hardest pistol to win. You stood out like a turret. Was that in my Premier? Was that in my 5-stat game? That was a fucking terrible time. Yes. Yes, Queen. Yes, if Yas made it to VCT, I think Yinsu and Kukuku would just constantly be making memes about that name. It was a random rank game? Oh, okay. Oh, was that the game I actually played? I think I remember that.
On such low HP.
You should enjoy the 5 Qs of Mitch, Drew, and Scott.
If you can connect the headshots, if you connect the shots before they...
It can't be any worse than the last 5 stacks, to be honest.
It is a little bit of a...
Are you planning to do OnlyFans in the near future? No, I'm not, unfortunately.
So many of your team are across in different angles, taking isolated fights.
If you could guarantee me a certain amount of money, I would consider it. Like, I'd consider it in the way that, like, you know what I mean? I had to think about it for more than 2 seconds. But the idea of just getting my knob out for an undisclosed amount of money does not sound like a good idea.
Can make a hell of a scary bonus.
What's the amount? I don't know. I'm not at the point where, like, I'd need to think about that. Stuff would have to be going stuff would have to be going a bit wrong in esports.
You can't blame them for trying, but there is some counteraction. Starkey, good timing on the cross, but then again, he was up against 2. The chances.
Can you review Yinsu's recent quote tweet on Bosa's VCT performance?
And Rorik is just sat on site with a judge. Rose is tasked.
Right, we go back to the game once.
Come up and against Zeke, already done the body tag. It's just.
Is it just the ass pic you're talking about?
Get the opportunity.
Are you trying to get me to look at his ass?
Walk out onto site.
Or is there actually something else?
Overdrive enabled. Oh, is he going for the check?
Oh, it's literally just you're trying to get me to show his ass. Okay.
He's spotted out where both players are now, but he's running out of time, and the overdrive is no longer available for him. Yeah, this is rough. This is really, really rough. Holds his ground, hoping he can defuse at least a half.
Bro, I'm not used to seeing Boaster's ass. I'm just It's not that. It's not that big a deal. Pun unintended. Is this post Neo Teo nerf? I don't think so. Is it post? Is it post Teo nerf?
Both extremities. Kraven was able to net a kill over towards C.
No. It's not. Teams are just stupid in this level. This is not. Yeah. Don't make me start flaming. Don't make me start flaming. We just pretend that they're just playing the game with Teo nerfed. It just is what it is.
Too many positions that they could have wandered off into.
Don't make me angry. I'm gonna pretend that Teo doesn't exist.
And so we've entered the next round. Gets a little bit awkward by wise for Enterprise.
Okay, it was a force buy, so I should have been paying attention, but I wasn't because you guys are spamming me about Boaster's ass. So it should be a very, very easy round here for BCF, but we do have the Outlaw on A. The Sova drone here, kind of OP. The Sova with the breach seems pretty good at times. As in, like, if you are going to play Sova, I think you have to play it with the breach. I don't think the comps are good. I'll be honest. The comps being played right now are not good. Breach is ass. Breach is more ass than Boaster. the Boaster. Breach is more ass than Boaster's ass. Do you love the stage in I spoke? Did they take it to Toronto? Almost 100%.
Would be cool if you made it into double digits, but you're right. But, you know, there isn't a real opportunity here, especially with so many corners.
They will nerf Outlaw because of comeback on Lotus.
So it's going to be a 2-1.
I mean, comeback is
after Enterprise running the pistol,
Outlaw main.
To get to 2.
Let's just see.
Okay, right. Let's have a real roundabout right now, please. 8-1. Yes. Larok, honestly, I've never seen Larok get more than like 5 kills on this map. And yet they win it every time. And Larok is a very good player, but why does Larok never get kills on this map? That's my question. I feel like I just never... I seem to always see BCF playing this map. And every time I'm like, oh, Larok's not having a great game. And it's always this map.
Skinny your teeth, Doma, you get out free.
I could be chatting shit, but I think I'm right.
From that exchange, he's low. He's been spotted, so he's asking
very easy round. What's going on? Why is this so easy?
While Zeke is able to do on a lot on the other front, you don't quite expect 2 players to be already in front of B main so quick.
I mean, that's a good sign for Enterprise. Losing a rubble control and looking so confident, just to chill.
Quite simple for this. No real big gunfights brought out.
He's playing ass agent because he's on breach.
Individual gunfights that have resulted in the gradual.
Please give Leo fan 1 hour of free coaching. You are so cool, Mini. I hope you come back to coaching and save global esports since they clearly need it.
Through that little corridor onto B just makes it a lot more difficult for BBR to.
Oh wait, okay. Let me check. Let me fact check myself in a second. After this round, I'll fact check myself.
Able to rotate off the information they had on Kraven, knowing he's the extremity player.
Out A again. So Enterprise once again leaving A control completely. But how do they deal with this scaling up? There's nothing. They just put okay. So their game is just to punish Kraven and then just play retake. Nice. Love this. Make noise, Zeke. Make noise, please. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Beautiful. Beautiful until they just fucking all die. Nice. Christ, this is way too close, but Enterprise played this round nicely. He wouldn't do that against any other player. That's the comeback effect. I think that like turning into smokes thing is just overrated. I don't know. Doma, Doma, Doma,
Peek and
Doma.
slide back to safety.
Come on, bro. Come on.
So close.
You've got like 10 years.
Doma,
There we go.
timing
That's my
is
man.
in his favor. Turns around 90 degrees.
Doma doesn't
Make
lose
sure
those.
Comeback knows who won that clutch, that's for sure. Diffuse going its way, and Enterprise, although laboured towards the end, are able to win their buy round.
Okay, Larocque 10 to 15.
Yeah, it does get a little bit awkward in the mid round.
Larocque 9 to 11. Larocque. Okay, 25 to 13.
From Starkey here.
Larocque bottom again.
Threads a needle through the gap. That
Larocque
maybe
middle.
left over towards site.
Middle.
Sure, it comes down to the 1v1, but yeah, off the back of
Middle.
Starkey in that round, you have to be looking towards the
Middle.
key influential impact player.
Second to bottom.
And now it's Killer's turn.
So on average, he's the fourth.
Pick out this
He's the
off
fourth
race,
place on
especially
average.
on the low buy that
I'd
BBL
say.
Pacific have coming into this, but they do have.
So I
a
didn't
drive
lie.
to come back.
He's usually the second or third. He's like 2.5. He's at 4, I think.
Doesn't really come down to that. Nice little
I'm not trying to offend
from
you.
Enterprise to-
Bro, BBL fans need to calm down, man. Like, I'm saying that Larocque is a fantastic player, and I'm surprised whenever I see him on Lotus, he seems to struggle more. You don't need to get offended by that.
For the stinger.
That's how analysis works, guys.
One-time Prowler, only one to shoot it. So you don't know.
Maybe problem is agent. Maybe problem is Lotus.
The stun will delay and might give some space. Come back wanting to seize the advantage. It looked like that was comeback,
two.
but instead it was yes.
It's not anything to do with Turkish fans specifically. Every single fan base that is kind of more nationalistic feels like when you make negative comments towards players or players that, or criticisms towards players, they're more likely to react. I think. I don't think it's specific to Turkish fans.
And yeah, a BBL Pacific timeout coming in is obviously not going to plan this.
It's the same when I see Koi or Casey or, you know, MIBR.
Sure, they were able to disrupt him on that second round, being able to EQ them back, but since then, feels like Enterprise have had the number.
And I will be honest, this is the first time I think I've seen Gas outshine comeback.
It has its positives, but it has its negatives. It has its negatives a bit like Larocque's KD right now.
But Comeback was by far the best player on the server. He had 28 kills to 19 deaths.
Can we not get into fan base wars in here? I
The
mean,
next best in the opposing team.
maybe one day I will.
So for Yas, this is a big step. This is finally him falling into his comfort zone and showing that he's not phased by the heroics of comeback.
I think it was a similar story that Hazo was saying on the desk.
It's weird because Paper X fans are a weird bunch, but they're like not the same, if that makes sense. Like they can do some weird stuff, but
the difference was very stark, and it was very
they're
much
not
in favour
quite
of comeback. And now,
nationalistic in the same way.
yes, getting a time to shine, and this is exactly when you want a player to do it. Grand finals performance. Ooh, light up.
I have to understand the Paper Rex fan a little bit more. I don't quite understand them yet.
Just a little poking and prodding from Kraven.
We flame them, but we
2
care.
years, but he may have poked and prodded for 2
I know that
months. Neymar picks him up, and yes,
Quite honestly, if you are a
extended
Paper X
some
fan watching this, I know the
peaks from
boys
A, and now they know exactly
do
where these
feel a
players
lot
are
of
going,
pressure
they're walking
because
into
of, you know what I mean?
crossfire.
They are indeed.
The fact the fans are a lot of pressure.
Not threatened at all. Enterprise holding on.
I don't know if they're any. I don't know if they're worse than like give more pressure than other fan bases though. It is difficult. I'm not sure.
White flag waved, and this round will be dropping in Enterprise's hands. I wonder if you try.
Do Paper X players read the forums? I don't know. I don't want to speak for them because I don't know the boys well enough. But like, I know that from my time coaching, I know that players read way too much. They read way too much. They're stupid. I'm not gonna lie, players are stupid. And like I made it like a rule when I started, like when I really like locked in as a coach, that like I just didn't read anything. I had a plugin that blocked the VLR forums. I wouldn't log into Twitter very much. I made the algorithm on YouTube never give me Valorant rated stuff. I didn't go on the subreddit. I didn't watch Plat Chat. I didn't look at YouTube comments.
Especially given the situation in regards to their money. Yeah, it's a little bit of a handshake
Like,
towards the
I
end.
think
Spots them out,
that's
doesn't
the
wanna
better
go
way
for
to
it.
do it. Players can't. I don't know, like, and I'm a coach. I'm not even a player. I don't know how players handle that stuff.
Yeah, once you said respect,
Unless you're going down like the Conor McGregor route, where you're being a bit more like artists and like you're gonna make content out of the fact that like you're gonna react to like the haters and stuff and make it part of your personality. I really don't understand why you would read anything.
Play with BBL Pacific's feelings. They are also young, right? Sure, they've played a lot of grand finals in the past few months. Sure, they are the team to beat. They are the favorites.
Bro, players aren't reading
Still early
books.
doors in their career.
I can't even. I wouldn't even imply that a player would read a book. That's how much I know they ain't gonna read a book.
And you do that by having mental resilience.
Barely get them to read. They don't even. They don't read their fucking contracts, guys. They ain't reading a book.
Switch up for BBL Pacific, at least on this attacking side. They've now sent Kraven over towards that B. Again, hopefully he can get some sort of entry, which is something he's been struggling at.
Let's lock
especially on
in.
that site.
5-2 for
Out that
Enterprise
gunfight
on defense
more
of
often than not,
Lotus.
especially with Zeke
Bro,
in close rotation.
is this
as well.
I bet this camera doesn't look like it looks like it should be a good camera because it's disguised. But I bet on the other side it doesn't look that disguised.
In front of Starkey's position, and Comeback is able
What
to
the
catch him
fuck
off
are
guard,
these
quick
trips,
to
by the way?
trigger. Quick to find the head.
Why are we
As though
scaling
he's
in
a
with
very
trips like that?
forward smoke phase, but he finds
What's going
himself
on?
in his cage and seizes a chance to swing out of it. Comeback, he
I guess they
is
expected
elevated.
a breach shot,
Meets his
deep
maker.
strap.
Zeke joins in. Yats with the overdrive, closing on
Enterprise
BBL
are,
position due to the Nightfall knowing
Enterprise are
exactly where
enterprising
they
right now.
There is one player missing. There is a sneaky Kreven that has slipped through the
There's a
cracks.
sneaky Kreven
Being collected due to from the
that
shadows from
snuck
Noita.
through the
This round is
cracks.
still very much up in the air. Gets away from the cross.
Just about, but look how far away Kraven is. There's no help for Lighter to get this spike plant down. It can swarm into sight.
Oh. GG. Look at Toma there. Hunting. Hunting. He wasn't hunting.
Stay alive. Kraven knows there's no chance of recovery. And Enterprise hold on.
Match fixture. No, the trips were good. The play off of the trips was bad. The trips were an anti for the breach shot. Like they're gonna breach ult and neon slide in. So the trips are used to deal with that. The match fixing moment came when they decided to for some reason scale back in twice in front of the trips.
They knew the spike needed to get planted.
BCF had made a good read that they could walk in though and not have to use their ults. They should have walked in and then ulted though.
Enterprise have won to time.
Yeah, no messing around here for comeback. He is pissed. Starkey though. We'll take him down before he drops to the aftershock.
Okay.
At least that's an open site for BBL Pacific. I feel this is the most opportune situation they find themselves into.
And once again, BBL not having to use only neon ult, not having to use these big ults for the exec. So if they can survive this round without using them, then they're... Oh, yes, again, man. The ults are going to happen now, I guess. What the fuck are we doing, boys? Right, GG, let's go next map. It's GG. Let's go next. 7 on defense. It's over. 7-2. Not a chance in France.
Side of the server, it's the neon of Yas that's truly shining right now. You're talking about this being one of the better rounds for BBL Pacific. They had a
Enterprise from. Let me try and figure this out. Let me see if I know game. One sec. Let me see if I remember.
This is the round out for Enterprise, and it puts them up onto 7.
Polish, Croatian,
looking confused.
Spanish? Spanish? Half Spanish? Half? Isn't most of their team just Polish? Is he Polish too? Polish? I want to say a lot of Polish people. Oh, half Spanish, half Ukrainian, Croatian. Am I right? Are these all Polish players? Yeah. Yeah, half Ukrainian, half Spanish, I think. And their coach is Alex R, who is German. I want to say. What the fuck is that?
It makes no difference. Starkey through the smoke gets the final shot across. What on earth is going on?
Alex R has been around for a while, right? Alex R used to be a CS guy, didn't he?
Doma, hello.
A German
Are we
coach.
having Prime Doma show up right now? What was that double kill? I feel like we need to see in the replay because one, sure, you got fully stunned, but the second was just straight through the smoke. You could smell him, Rose. I'm sorry, but you're not going to have a chance to play in that round.
Yeah, Alex has been around since 2013. I think he played.
This was something that we were seeing yesterday, similar to when
He's been around CS a long time.
It felt everything that they did. Everything quite.
What is his final for? It's for Pride. No, it's for points in tier 2. Stage 2 challengers EMEA. It's not Ascension finals, no.
It's cool to see Doma do that.
It's Ascension points.
But it feels he only does this when he's got a sheriff in his hands or he's stunned. I want to see more of it. More regularly. I guess he's not in the position to do the heavy lifting, right? He's the one. He's the facilitator, and this time he's on the receiving end.
I mean, the operator buy was nice from comeback. That flash is a bit noob. He didn't need to flash. You just jiggle peek. You jump peek. You jump. It is an awkward position on the map when there's no Viper to wall up.
He's patient, hoping to see if he can see anyone that peeks him. But Yas, his patience pays off as well.
Oh.
TP, you're wondering where that's landed, or a bit of a bait to maybe allow the rest of the players to join in. And instead of C, now opting to try and
bro, he's just dived in with the fucking operator. Comeback round, I guess. I like this. Yas is making a good read here. If he just drops quickly... Oh, actually, that's better. Why does he need to drop? Why did Killers go separately is the question here. They think he's tree, right? Never mind, never mind, never mind. Loiter? Loiter. Not the cleanest, but... 10? Is that 10 for 2 or 9 for 2?
They are never out of a round contention.
3 neon ults in one half.
Using a key piece of Doma and come back managing to look through B with an operator. The trays are just left, right, and center for this team.
Challengers EMEA was a great idea, not just watching the good teams crush bums all year long into Ascension.
Whether it's getting the spike down on B or transitioning over towards
what are you talking about?
There to catch you as you do it. Right on the tail, on the heels of the BBL Pacific players. Enterprise just not letting up.
No, they're not. Okay, sure, yeah. Sometimes it do be like that. And come back wanting to move aggressively off the back of it as well. Haunted. Oh, Hunter's Fury, that's a great landing. And it finds his mark onto Zeke Rose. He paired it up nicely with his teammates. His comeback also
9-3?
the side. Yeah.
It's going to be fucking hard, but 9-3.
Close out the half with a positive, that's for sure. A third round looks like
Lotus into Haven. Okay.
Yeah, at least it denies Enterprise from getting up onto 10.
Oh, yeah.
But they still have to go across the board. Yasin Killers doubling up towards Heaven. Yeah, they just can't get past the first.
Happy. Well, bro, I got almost 1,000 viewers. The fuck?
On the board. It's a glimmer of hope going into halftime, right? Is
fair
it
enough.
Or could this be a longer series than expected?
It's weird that I have so few. Like today, I only have like 80 viewers on YouTube. I guess I think APAC fans prefer YouTube. No competition right now. Oh wait, let me take it. Let me take it. Coke surfing. All right, so we got coke surfing. I think we might need I need to tag people mentally of people that are weird. How dare you? How dare you to bot viewing? How dare you to bot viewing? I might look at my I might look at my analytics and see where I'm getting audience from. I'd be very interested to see. I mean, right now, I imagine there's more Turkish people. Ritual, hello, from India. Hello, hello. Is 9 on defense good? It's ludicrous. It's like, it's ludicrous. 9 on defense. If you said 9 on attack, I'd be like, yeah, that's very good. 9 on defense is ludicrous. I think especially with the comps they're both playing, they're both better at attack. Like they both the comps are better at attack, so therefore the attack should be even more one-sided. But I may have accidentally linked to your channel to the Valorant EMEA for a few minutes. I don't know. I mean, I'll take 3 viewers.
Strong start to the first map pick of Enterprise in this best of 5 grand final. 9-3, but BBL Pacific were able to close things out on a positive.
Yeah,
We're at an ad.
No,
we're adless here.
It at least gives them a little bit more of a buffer coming into this one. But
wait, on the chat I can't see. Do I see? Do I get like notifications about subs and stuff? Have I missed like? This isn't. I really feel like I'm baiting now, but I don't know what I get notifications for in this restream chat. Shit. I have. Thank you, Enterprise. Okay, one sec. One sec. This is the problem with this shit.
You've got more time to work with, especially with comeback coming in so quickly. Trying to open the door and deter your opponents from dealing with a rock. Still though, neither of the BBL Pacific players can win their.
So I need to actually have a stream activity open at the same time. Shit.
Yeah, this is
where is this stuff? I'm such a noob, man. I'm such a noob.
Out this round, right? You had the paranoia on top of the stun. There's an aftershock as well.
Stream manager. Stream manager. There we go.
Defend himself and his teammates.
Activity feed.
Come out on the engagement and going into sight. Then you have the numbers advantage. Come back on the long flank coming around.
If
finally groups up
Cairo sub an hour ago. Thank you, Cairo. Thank you, K23791. You were subscribed an hour ago. Dirty Dan, what?
Fall back on the spike being planted as that extra boost to the economy.
If anyone else subbed, I appreciate it, but I cannot see.
You into the sense if you could force it, given the
cannot see
at the moment.
I need to figure this one out.
Instead, eyes on Enterprise into this one. It is an eco round for them.
Yeah, there's some allegations. Yes, Sayonara. I had a conspiracy that your group of people were your group of people are the prime suspect for these weirdos in my chat.
Yeah.
Like there's some weird people in my chat sometimes. And my it's either random people I don't know, or logically the next choice would be you guys. Like because there's nobody else it could be that I know.
They'll find the C site with no one to defend.
If you know how I kind of start blasting. Okay. I quite like the idea that it's you guys, to be honest. I find that kind of funny. If it is just random people I don't know, it's not as fun, and it's a little bit weirder, I think. Doma, I can talk over this. Doma's got me covered, man. Doma's got me covered. Look at him. Safe pair of hands right there. Get this man back to VCT. Sayo, would you play in a team with Doma?
Well, a matter of time for Enterprise to shut down Lotus and make it their own.
It's just randoms.
I
Oh,
guess to
okay.
say if they are able to do that, it's making the comparisons from
We're
the
back to
sets
Fnatic
that both
confirmed.
teams
I
had
don't think
in
so.
The respective map picks, right? We saw BBL Pacific. What was it? 10-2 on the half. And
Who
then
did
going
Doma
into
play
the
with VCT?
second,
Doma
started to
played
let
with
it
Fnatic.
slip. Enterprise, on the other hand, haven't let that happen just yet. Managed to
How old's
pick up
Doma? He's like 21.
Still keep some of the momentum they gathered in the first half.
Bro,
But still Enterprise prevail. How did they get away with all
I
that?
don't know how to phrase this without sounding sus.
And
But
they
I
keep on
get them
giving
young. Like, Doma's like one of the most experienced players in Valorant. But he's like 21.
As well. Larok, backside.
I think the last sus way of putting it is
Some company,
child labor laws should exist from my activities.
but a crossfire, a double peak, which Killers will stand on top of, punches both players down. A nice little combo. Enterprise 1 round away from making this.
That ain't better.
convincing
I
showing
think
on
that's better.
Lotus.
Diddy of Valorant.
Yeah, and there's
I didn't say I
a lot
liked them
of
young. I
wiggle
said I
room
get
for the
them
side
into
of
the team young.
Enterprise to work with. They
There's
can
a bit of a
afford to make A couple
difference.
of mistakes, but they definitely don't want to be elongating this map at all. Again, it's a best of 5. It's going to be a long day, especially if we see the maps traded back and forth like this. And again, it's
Does that
heavy
seem-
pressure towards A.
Indeed.
The only
Statement
issue...
though from
No, I
Enterprise.
can't continue. I can't
Winning this
continue.
one would be huge for them. They are
We can't
out for the
continue.
title, for the best in tier 2, on the hunt to become ascended. Larok able to find 2, but Enterprise again.
Wait a minute. Is this Doma the Fortnite player? Yeah, it is. You gotta be taking the piss though, surely. Doma was pretty good at Fortnite. I don't think he was good enough for someone to make a comment like that, surely.
Makes it a lot worse. And Yas, knowing where Loiter's coming from, will be checking Killers as well. Backstab. And the spike isn't even being
He was pretty
planted,
good,
it's
though.
on C, so far away. Killers telling his teammate where his opponent will be coming from.
Benji Fishy better. I mean, yeah. I mean,
And there you have it.
I would presume so.
Delivered a blow to the back of the skull. 13-3
Right, 13-3.
is the way maps go.
13-3.
It is definitely not weird. What we
Pavlos
expected.
is out of
That was
sync.
a very decisive showing coming out from Enterprise.
Yeah, I think we had glimmers of the decisive.
Is there any clips from Doma and Valorant?
Into the
Doma
second,
Valorant.
that
That
was
isn't him
Enterprise
getting
all
flashed
the way,
from
closing out on the
Mystic's
back
Sky
of
Flash.
13-3, domination all throughout. But
Doma
let's not hear
Valorant.
from our analyst because that was not what we were.
He's got
expecting,
highlights on
right?
his own stream.
I mean, look, people, can you see this? We got a series on our hands. We got that's the worst joke I've ever made. And now I'm gonna have to wash this off.
Oh,
I don't
God.
know why I did that.
Twiggy.
Anyway,
Twiggy,
we've got a
come
series
on.
our hands. That is a marked improvement
Twiggy.
as well from the last time we saw Lotus between these two teams here. I mean, like from 13-10 to 13-3 is ridiculous.
Yeah,
from
Doma
me.
was
That
carrying
is
us this
an
game, I
improvement that
remember.
we, just don't see that often. I mean, look, we saw the first time we saw Lotus out of these guys.
Oh no, it wasn't this game, I remember.
In this tournament,
This is actually a good clip.
And then it went away from them the next time they played it.
Oh, he
And
wins
we were
this?
like, we
4v1?
Is what happened? You know, like why? What was the difference?
What are they doing?
He was just like, I don't know. Like,
Okay, I mean, it's not a
we
great
didn't
clip, is
expect
it?
what happened against the UK.
Shroud reacts to
We
Doma
started
flick.
on the other half, and
Ooh.
it didn't go our way.
Ooh.
It looks like they've solved the problem.
I mean, that's
Whatever the problem
that's
was,
not
they
bad.
have solved
I don't
it.
know if he actually
It's a
killed.
13-3 is a dominant scoreline, not
He didn't
just
kill this
in the
person, but he
way
did some
that we
damage.
see, you know, teams winning series
Yeah,
from
get
time to time.
absolutely.
A
Look at
BBL
this.
Pacific scoreline, but
Zelsus,
Yeah.
absolute noob.
Uh,
He's been a
I
noob since
don't know how
2021.
Comeback keeps doing this.
It's unbelievable.
20 kills
Effie's
once
as well.
again. But
Effie's.
like the casters highlighted, this is the first time pretty much that Yas has been able to go against Comeback in these stats, in this game, and actually exceed Comeback.
The fact that Boast was playing Recon? Yeah. I mean, Recon IGLing was pretty common back then.
We kind of felt like was the UCAM game 13-0 of Luke for Enterprise Esports, but in the
Celsius
end,
was not yawned enough for you,
performance against BBL Pacific.
The fuck does yawned mean?
I do have a Telestrator round to show how
Here we go, Telestrator.
Enterprise Esports rather were able to fight against this BBL Pacific roster, how they were able to make things so uncomfortable for this side.
Ziggy
So
is like the team. It's like Timu version of Ziggy. Zig. What are you talking about?
There's a lot of pressure. This was after Key's timeout the previous round. They kind of shifted from A.
Who's the favorite in this
to
matchup?
C side.
BBL Pacific.
But prior to this round, Creven got punished on B, so he's playing way more passive. Also, there was a push from A lobby from Enterprise Esports, so there has to be way more passive with that one as well. Loita playing further behind. When we take this onto the full screen, we kind of see the style that BBL Pacific usually had for the side of Enterprise Esports. They're getting a lot of ground, a lot of information throughout this map, and look at the rotations that come from Enterprise Esports, because BBL Pacific, they're not as comfortable in punishing or fighting those caps. Enterprise already grouping up with 5 players on the map. You see here, Comeback is gonna get a pick right here, but in the end, it doesn't matter because you have 4 players already punished.
I'm already
here,
confused
and that punishment,
by
that
this round, to be
response
honest.
is gonna come swiftly. Comeback kind of trying to find that second pick on the side. Killes being sneaky, gonna find that second pick back.
Yeah, it's looking to be the next Kayak.
Just going full
Yas has been good for a long time, and he's playing well. I don't think he's quite putting up Kayak numbers.
Tried to grasp back in, but there was no chance.
Is the map replayed today? Enterprise already replayed the map versus Koi and won 13-5. Why is it better to have your IGL on controller or Senti? I don't know. Like, it just wins more. But like, I think it's something to do with the fact that controllers can being a controller is the least amount of like mental headspace I think you need on the team. Like I think it really is the easiest just to play. So like it just makes sense the IGL plays the easiest role. And I think that Senti's similar, it's just you're not in the pack, so people get a bit concerned about it. I think pack IGLing is a bit overrated though.
If they wanted to continue in this series, it's looking like that's the case. Now we're heading to Haven next. 13-2 was how
I think that recon agents and I think initiators are more micro intensive than Smoker or Sentinel, and that detracts from the IGL's ability to IGL, or detracts from their ability to use micro, i.e. use their aim. So it kind of just does worse for both. That's why Judas switched to controller always frying? Yes. It's because controller is easy. It's also because controller does allow you to be in positions in which you can like lock down on defense. Which the IGL smokers will struggle with a little bit more. And that's why historically I feel like Americas has liked having star players play smoke sometimes, because they can pop off. But I still think that it's better to save the resources of the brain of the IGL and put them on smokes. Is that why both are playing controller? It's not necessarily why he's playing controller. We just figured out that like him playing controller is probably the best role for him. But I think that if you reverse engineered some of the thinking, I think that's where I would come to the conclusion of nowadays. Why is pack IGLing overrated? Because if you just look at the impact that Sentinel IGLs have had on this game's history, I would argue that you don't need to be in the pack to do it. Obviously, if your team's not constructed in a way where if you have 0 voices in the pack, then of course it's going to be hard. John QT, Nats looked good at it, Busio looked good at it, FNS looked good at it. I think that more people would look good at it, it's just that very few people try to do it, if that makes sense. It does damage their lurking ability to some degree, but by the time you start your lurks, you should not be IGLing anyway. Is part of one of the GOAT coaches? Of course. it would be more interesting if Potter coached a better team. Santiago, I think, need vocal players that can comm well, happening, can make decisions. Yeah, Santo IGL does require your team to not be fully mute, but I think if you look at Team Liquid, I don't think that they... I mean, Patty's probably the person in the pack helping the most, I guess. Top 5 coaches right now, like as in the 5 coaches who are playing in the game right now who are good? Or do you mean of all time or what? I mean, Josh, Cap, maybe Potter. I think you gotta put. It's hard. Josh, Cap. I would even maybe put Fraud. For NA, for Europe, it's like Neil Weber. And then we're going to have to wait to see how good Milan gets. But obviously Milan's doing well right now. But I think that, like, judging it over such a short span is kind of difficult. Eng. At this very moment, I don't think you can say Eng. At this very moment in time, this very day, I don't think you can put Bazooka or Eng on today. If we're talking of all time, Lohan, Milan are like ones that, like, I think you could put Lohan more confidently because he's made it now at both global events. I think Milan will wait to the end of the year. It's all just obvious shit because all the teams doing well, you just got to put the coaches that are doing well. So it's just like it's obvious. Like, let's be real.
Against BBL Pacific, I think previously it was 13-4 with Enterprise.
Run ads, okay.
Eternal Fire, and that is incredible. And especially when we take a look at the map.
Is there any good coach but not many wins exist? Yes, Potter.
Right here. BBL Pacific, they have 91 win percent in these maps, and Haven is one of
Salam alaikum, brother. Salam alaikum. Malaikum salam.
In this year, and that was 3 months ago. After that, they've gone on a
Potter,
Haven, and Enterprise Esports, they've been under that twice. They've lost
who else?
Against BBL Pacific. First one was that 13.
I mean,
where BBL Pacific actually had a great comeback because of
BBL, I guess. People talk about PAL a lot. I don't know how to divide the Magni PAL stuff up, but I think BBL's coaching staff. Alex, like, okay, like, let's be objective about it. Like, Alex in this very moment is like, they've had a rough year, you know what I mean? So it's like, if Paperx looks sick for champs, or they do sick in Toronto and then look sick at champs or something, or for champs, then yeah, for sure. But I think if you're compared to all the coaches I named before, all the other coaches made it to 2 global events, I think, right? With the question mark on Milan, because he's only just taken over.
By BBL Pacific. So look, for them, I think definitely there is a chance of improvement here based on what we're seeing today.
If you could promote one player to coach seats, who would that player be? Promote? I mean, that's a demotion. One player to be in the coach seat. Head coach or assistant coach? Or am I head coach and I get to put them with me?
There's something about Haven finding itself as a third map of a best.
I mean, Boaster.
This time it's in the grand final. Enterprise did have this as a
I'd have Boaster as my assistant coach. I'm not assistant coaching for Boaster though.
And they come out on top of it, right? They've got that bravado with them. 13-7 was the score. But now, off of a good win on Lotus, looking to see if they can double that up. This is going to be close. It's Enterprise starting things off defensively with BBL Pacific.
It would be fun to guide, like, if Bosa was the head coach, I think I would be good at kind of
It is perfect.
It sounds cocky, but I'd be very good at teaching him, I think. There are things that he can do much better than me, and I think I'd be very good at guiding him to be a very good head coach. I think there's some things about Boaster that would need to be worked on, but if he worked on those things, he would be a phenomenal head coach. There's just some things he'd need to kind of figure out and be reasonable about. He would never do it, and it'd be pointless. Would most IGLs make good coaches? No. To be honest with you, no.
There's a way back into this round for them.
Most good IGLs have a good leadership qualities. There are very few that I think have good leadership qualities and have good reads on the game, like in the way that I think you need to be able to have. I think a lot of it is a relationship between the IGL and the coach. And a lot of coaches are better coaches than the IGLs to be coaches, if that makes sense. Who's a better player, me or Zeish? I think Zeish should be better than me. If he gave us both 6 months, I think it would be quite close, though. Anyway, let's actually watch the game instead of yapping. Enterprise had a full stack ready for that BXR. So, nice little crossfire win for them. Haven, though, if they can steal this Haven away.
Saw you lose a couple of players on the confirmation on the exits over towards A, but yeah, great counter for them over towards B. And
I'm locking in. I'm getting into the fucking Matrix right now. I lock in on eco rounds because I'm an idiot. Right, what are we doing? Why? Hello? Hello? We need help. There's a smoke. There's a recon that's broken. We're playing retake A. Guys, no. Oh my god, are they gonna lose the classics? This is a very we could possibly lose the classics kind of moment. Okay, thank you. Luckily Zeke gets 2 free kills. Post plan A, retaking through these tiny choke points against classics is not a great situation. So Zeke finding those 2 kills is necessary. They should have flood rotated towards A at the start of that round, in my opinion. Like, they were playing like a 1-3-1. As soon as this recon gets broke and there's a smoke here, they needed to rotate at least 2 here.
Yeah, and just with context of the last time that we did see this map,
I was very worried for them there.
Coming in from BBR Pacific, similar to what Enterprise were just able to do on Lotus, is how
Pistol Gods EP. Bro, imagine this tweet. I hope if Doma wins with my tweet that I've added him with, it's gonna pop off.
A little bit more of a competitive map on their hands at least this time, but eyes on BBR
I'm just instigating drama here. Instigating drama.
Yaz with an outlaw can do a lot of damage, especially if Zeke with these shock darts can land some to soften the blow.
4A for Enterprise. Nice little anti-bonus.
Yeah, Starkey might be in a little bit
Sorry, nice little bonus round idea. Oh, the smoke to dodge the recon on long? Oh, but he knows. Comeback knows. So that smoke's literally designed to dodge the recon, pinging you. And then 4A to like stop BCF's initial A. I like what Enterprise are doing so far. Oh, he's not got the right line. Oh! That's not what you wanted to. He's misclicked. He's misclicked. Yes, you fucking.
Looking to push exactly onto the position of 2. Never mind. Double back. 50 seconds in.
Okay, now they overstack A. Enterprise, I like this from them. It's not going to work, but this is correct. Like, just making a gamble play, 4v5, shit guns, guessing this. I don't mind it. There's a possibility to win the retake on B here, but it's going to be rough. It's going to be hard.
They're going to be alerted relatively soon that this is the conclusion for this attacking side.
No, he just takes you up, okay.
It's definitely there for Enterprise.
Smoker is alive to smoke Spike. They're gonna try and retake it, looks like, with proper clearing out, but unfortunately there's nobody in the backside, so all this util is for nothing. Smoke on Spike. Oh, Zeke gets a kill. Sova ult is a big investment. They get out front sight though. Ah, that's too easy. Yeah. That Sova ult was a bit optimistic, to be honest with you. Why team vitality? Okay.
Yeah, and really starts off with the.
What's your opinion on Zeke? I think Zeke is playing good enough to play at tier 1, yeah. It's just whether teams will want him. Like we were talking about earlier, like Zeke's a player with a lot of history in terms of like quote toxicity or not being the best teammate and whatever, so like that's the thing that's held him back, is the perception around him as a player. It's never really been his skill. Like Zeke's always been a good player.
Outshine Enterprises, and on top of the weaponry that they had, they were forced to fight through mid just based on the plant and the
tracks before tracks. I mean, I think to paint the same brush with all the players that have got like, it's tough. Like I don't want to like conflate everything. I probably know more than you guys, and it's like not worth me getting involved with it. But like, I wouldn't paint all players with the same brush. Sometimes players don't get on their team. Sometimes players have problems that the team needs to deal with. Sometimes players are just dicks. Like, there's lots of different ways you can interpret it. I think Zeke would probably admit that he was probably not, you know, probably needs to grow up at time, probably, from what I know. But again, I didn't coach him. Wasn't one of my players. It's a bit easier to talk about openly when you saw the kind of mixed well Zeke drama stuff. Sometimes some players need to look at themselves in the mirror and not blame one person for their issues. Yeah, or just the general idea of not blaming anyone but themselves to some level. Like you want to hold other people accountable and you want your teammates to be held accountable, but sometimes like you need to put that your own self needs to be the first person you're criticizing before anyone else, really.
But also up onto series point, and then it's only one more that's needed.
Apparently changed. I mean, I hope so. If he did, then he's looking like a very good prospect. He's also IGLing right now. I don't know how technically they like to use their kind of strategy and, you know, IGLing stuff, but to be an IGL who's fragging, who's, you know, not toxic is a pretty good place to be in. Oh, Starkey is IGLing? I thought Zeke was IGL. Why did I think Zeke was IGL? Oh, okay, Zeke is mid-rank calling. Okay. Okay, so, I mean, if he's mid-rank calling, then, you know. It does feel like this team does play a bit more slightly loose game, so like, to have that kind of system makes sense, I guess.
You interrupt that, they're back onto an eco. This is a great chance for, actually, the Turkish representative to put a lot of reps in on the attack.
I think Foxy was in here saying about how their game is pretty loose. Oh, Starkey goes to the flame mid-spray instead of actually trying to shoot his gun at someone. That's, if I was the coach, that's probably the first thing I'm calling out in a timeout.
Shutting down Kraven. Rose gets caught.
That's a fine. Yeah, that's a yellow card from me.
Enterprise now have a lot of players to throw at this.
How would I approach that? I don't think I would call out him individually. I think I would probably refer to the fact that we need to focus up and stop, you know. Yeah, I probably wouldn't throw him under the bus individually there. He is the IGL though. If he's the IGL, then maybe I'd do it. Like I'm far more likely to call out Boaster in front of everyone else than I am any other player, because I know that like that's part of their role as the IGL, is to take shit from me in front of other players a bit more.
lucky for the side of EP, they were still able to close that one out. Otherwise, Ice were going to be going towards Starkey.
That goes there.
But benefit for
I have a Snickers bar. I'm gonna eat my Snickers bar. Oh, that neon stun is kind of nice. I think that's pretty standard, but I don't play any on this map, so I don't know. Retake C. Full retake C.
No.
They're flooding in with it?
But it's something.
What are they doing?
Now, BBL Pacific are one of those teams that have created a lot of.
Oh my god, look at that TP. What is that? Starkey's fucking own them.
When you leave Starkey in an undiscovered position, ready to pounce.
He didn't. He flashed and TP'd in. Didn't get anyone on the flash at all.
Also, triples up this round. This lad's feeling it. 4 now on the tally for the Enterprise team.
Right, Ash remark.
Redemption moment for Starkey into that one. Is able to get the double kill this time. And yeah, it's just more of, for the side of BBL Pacific, this is now, that round was something that you scraped the barrel, you forced into as much as you could, because
I think beef is fine. I think if you're doing fake beef, and the other team doesn't fake beef, it's fine.
Over their attacking gambit with 1 round. Now back onto
as a coach, if you hear our plan needs to time out because they're whiffing, you take it or ignore it. My rule was if a player ever asked for a timeout, I would take a timeout. Players on my team knew like how important timeouts were, so if they're gonna ask for a timeout, they know it's got to be pretty important. So if they ask me, I would take it. I think there's one time I think it's happened like 4 or 5 times where players have asked for timeouts in my career, and maybe once I ignored it. And I think it might have been Alpha misreading a situation a little bit. Like he thought we were much more stressed than we were or something.
All of a sudden, Enterprise are charming it together and they're making it look damn clean. Doma hangs on to his life there with 1 point of health to spare. Yep, no kills handed over to BBL Pacific. They can be grateful for.
I think there was a time where Boaster wanted one.
Yeah, I think that was really as much as they can be happy with coming out of that round, right? Stinger was the biggest investment you
I think Boaster wanted one once, but I thought his calls were actually good.
You don't necessarily get crazy amount of kills, but you get the spike.
So I refused to take the timeout, I believe, hoping that he continued to call what he was calling.
You can be on that full loss bonus anyway.
But then after that game, I think I had a discussion with him. I was like, if you ask for a timeout and
the money disparity between
like we made it a game where like if he asked for a timeout and I didn't time out, it meant that he was doing a good job.
From Yas, though, might be catching some players off guard. There was a paranoia involved, so Comeback couldn't quite react to it quickly. But he is holding the angle, and Yas, sure, escapes, but he's still very deep in mid, and finally gets connected with from Kreven. Hunter's Fury off the back of it as well. It's one big ultimate to get out of the way here for Enterprise. But still, numbers advantage for BBL Pacific. And you haven't said that often on this map.
And especially taking down Yas, player that's been shining in the previous and into this one as well. It's massive.
There's a big round.
Comeback seems to be aware of a possibility of Doma in this corner, but the teammates up close to pistol check. They do. So that's Loiter aware of the positioning.
Yeah, it got scary for a second when the barrel got revealed, but then again, Loiter is smooth with it. And fast. This time, BBL
very big round for BCF to win. CP over the trip, maybe?
Enterprise with 3
nah, it just breaks it.
Okay,
okay, they're gonna probably save. They should be putting economic pressure on though. They need to get some guns off of BCF. This is good damage. Good damage. Very nice damage.
He just got given a gift, but the time is running out. A Rolling Thunder is available. Sure, he can hope for maybe another kill, maybe to lure out the Rolling Thunder, but
excuse me.
Today, Kreven closes up the gap, is able to find the side of Starkey's head, and BBL Pacific finally in the attacking rounds tally.
For Valor Plant playbook, etc., is there any reason you prefer the minimap in one direction? I think that orientating the minimap in different ways to me makes 0 sense.
Well, force the
I don't
crowd
think there's
out.
any
I don't
need.
think
I
we're
would
able
prefer
get
to always see the minimap in
the
the same
reinvestment
state,
from Kraven.
and it's just easier for me to visualize.
This goes here.
Okay.
I think flipping the
So instead
minimap
of
just
down
makes
to
you think about the map
decide,
differently. I would rather
operator
just
in
have
each
it the
team.
same every single
This will be
time.
interesting.
Doesn't seem like we're gonna get the operator head-to-head though. One posted either side of the map, and especially
Any
with Yas
potential
being
franchise
switched out so
players in
early
this
with a jump
match?
peek from Rose, can see the
Pretty
fight
much
tailing
all of
out
these
of
players are potential for next year. In this team,
BBL Pacific,
I think
they
it's the
should
same,
Death will approach.
but like these players have more. There's more excitement around this team because they've never been in
You
tier
know,
1.
often, you know, not given the credit he's due.
Being
he's
in tier
been
1,
the
being in
reason
tier 1, being in
this
tier
year
1.
BBL Pacific have stepped up further than they had the previous one, right? And
He was around last year and quite well known, and I think Starkey's been around a little bit. Like these players though are like
how smart,
these are like
how
the
smartly he
hot
keeps players
prospects.
busy
You know
by
what I mean?
also
Like
giving
the
his
upcoming hot
team
prospects.
information in the process is something you definitely can't dispute.
I don't care about minimap rotation though. I prefer static. I think static is better, and there probably are objective reasons for it being better, but I don't care. Fake on A, TPing on B, but 2 people ready. Okay, Yas gets picked though. It seems like every time BCF get into an awkward position on their attack sides, they just end up ulping. And comeback is good for it. Like, to have a Turkish duelist that can actually use the operator and is scary enough to also pick it up on attack is very scary for a VCT.
Yeah, that chance is simply not there.
I like Lord of the Rings a lot better than The Hobbit. In terms of books, I've only ever read The Hobbit when I was younger, and maybe a little bit of The Fellowship of the Ring.
Get closer to the Hunter's Fury, perhaps. Avoids comeback shot.
But isn't that like obvious for films? Like, who the hell likes The Hobbit?
It's going to be a third round for BBL Pacific.
So you hate Zeus? No, I think Zeus is fantastic.
A lot of utility and ultimates
But I think that there is a
like
weakness in
A
this
sides
game
as
that
well.
Comeback
It
does
all
not
comes
have.
back down to the operator head-to-head between Comeback and Yas. That was their way into that B site because they
I don't know
still
enough
had
about The
two
Hobbit
players
to
there.
know
They
which
were
hobbits
still
I
in
like.
transition towards that A site in support.
How do you become like Comeback?
And it was impactful.
You think I'd
for
tell
Comeback
you
that
if I
allowed
knew?
them a way into sight, and obviously then dealing with killers.
Goes there.
Who's
Unfortunate,
coaching
but
EP? Alex R.
doomed from
Legia
the
might be
start.
helping because Alex R is friends with
But
Legia.
coming into this one now,
As
there's
far
still
as I'm
weapons
aware.
available for Enterprise, and even the Blade Storm's available for Yas, who's going to be going aggressive over towards A.
Recon instantly taken aback. So if you're Yas, you know there is presence around. You've got to be
The
cautious.
tension in the air right now on this A main.
Comeback also knows a real possibility for his opponent to be on
This
the
half was looking
side,
so
but
good for
you've got to be
EP, but if
careful. Don't wanna be
they lose
upset
this
here.
one, they're on eco probably.
All Yas is doing is keeping them busy. The intuition for killers to spray through the smoke.
Or at least they're going to be on like a very
Both players on
sketchy
Ceylon,
buy.
back away from this angle, running out of blades.
Oh.
Yas finally has to fall. BBL Pacific
5 on defense Haven's decent though, but it's like
And just in time,
they could have made this into a
Zeke just
monstrous
revealed
half.
over for Kraven to capitalize, and even a player onto site now, but Doma stands the test, or at least of the first. Kraven a third in the round.
Is
And
Comeback
despite
joining
that,
mates
a
mates
post-ban
in
situation for
stage 2?
BBL
I don't
Pacific,
know. I
and it
heard that
doesn't
rumor.
look like Enterprise wants to even entertain the idea of this retake. A 2v4 and a fourth round
I've
for
heard that
BBL
rumor.
Pacific on the boards.
How do I?
That's more like it. We definitely have the game on our hands. It felt like it was very much the Enterprise show on the defensive side, but I feel like BBL Pacific have figured out how to
They
play
should
with
they should no joke make another league for
try and
Turkey for how
lure
much
and
talent there
entice
is.
the
I
opposing
mean,
players, try to get those
we're
early
very
picks,
lucky to have
let Enterprise
them.
reveal themselves
in
on
him,
their
yeah.
opponent's screens.
If we didn't have them, we'd be kind of
There's a
fucked.
lot of that
I'm
going
not gonna
around,
lie.
and they are quick to sort of change their ideas mid-round, right? Kind of go from one side to the other at a moment's notice.
Yeah, and I think it was this kill in particular that they got onto Yas. They'd already, for the side of Enterprise, they'd already joined out B. They saw nothing or any presence over towards A, and there was glimmers of shooting through smoke towards C, especially with the damage that was done over onto Starkey. Yas just thought he was taking the position, the empty space, gets caught in transition, punished, and also allows for
Okay.
Kraven to get the ultimate online, utilized. And then for BBR Pacific,
Oh,
they
the
have all the
Odin
information
from
they
that
needed.
spot.
That's some
I
good
saw
chip
this yesterday
damage.
from someone. Who was using Odin in the spot yesterday?
I like the Odin. I'm a fan. I don't mind it at
Really?
all.
Ah,
I can't remember who it was.
I left
I'm bad at using it.
Newcastle.
Who was I watching
I've got a
yesterday?
friend that's,
Was it
that loves playing with the Odin.
Was it
and he drops
RRQ?
in on it, so every time he drops it,
No, it wasn't
have to
Magnum.
drop an
I don't
Odin
think.
skin over. And yeah, we bond over that moment. I provide him with the Odin, he does all the killing.
Let's see.
Either way though.
Not to be that guy, but the title's missing an eye in BBL specific.
It seems Yaz's operator is going to be the first opportunity to get anything.
Unlucko. Unlucko. Crazy guy. Thank you very much. RRQ crazy guy. That makes sense.
Yeah, it is that B site that Enterprise are looking to push into. Well, BBL Pacific.
Again, they're
instead.
just posting
I'm
up
sure
B with the
Enterprise have
operator
got a lot of chips
and just getting in for free.
side of things. But they haven't quite been able to stop BBL Pacific from taking space.
Oh, this spot is good, but why the fuck is he doing it in the middle of the open?
Straight on, and you hear Loiter's TP above, so
Nice,
you take
nice.
that stun was gorgeous. It catches two.
Like, I like BBL Pacific a lot, but I kind of low-key want EP to win.
It is a push out from Doma.
Like, it'd be nice to have, like, a bit of a competition for the end of Ascension.
Also for Killers to arrive, Rose realizes there's some stalling involved. Realize that Killers could be
Plus, it's getting a bit boring
around.
if Pacific just win everything.
They're running out of time. But BBL Pacific are hiding in and out of their corners. Suddenly, though, they reveal themselves.
And then maybe we get Doma for an interview afterwards if he wins. I've just decided we're going to interview Domas for this if he wins.
So early on into that retake.
I'm sure I could get him. Surely he's coming on straight after.
Surely there's a couple of trades back and forth, but utility that came out from the Enterprise players, specifically from Doma in regards to the stuns and some of the flashes. Put BBL Pacific in such an uncomfortable position. Sure, they had the post.
New artist?
As soon as the smoke comes out from Starkey,
He isn't on our interview list, so he's all yours.
Your body on the line. You can't just jump peek at
He isn't on the. Bodox just basically said that we don't want to talk to Doma because he's an idiot. You can have him. That's what Bodox just said. We're not interested in talking to Doma.
Although it doesn't seem Enterprise are too happy with how not only that round, but the last couple have transpired.
What are the stakes of winning this game? The stakes of winning this game are mostly about this. Where is it?
Oh yeah, big time, right?
The stakes are mostly about this.
But it's Enterprise that are on the precipice of
Everything else I don't care about. The stakes are mostly about the giving it. Doma's called them shit, and then they've called them shit back. So that's the real stakes. I don't care about points.
Less eager to go for these early explorations, to take those
I couldn't tell you what anything means when it comes to points. I don't know. It probably means a lot for them to win. I don't know.
If there is a difference in approach. For now, looking at the mini-map, BBL Pacific might be looking for a very quick pounce to towards this A site. It might be a big pace changer. Yas, is he able to shut down Comeback's life here? If he does...
I'm just going to shit stir this entire year now for tier 2.
What?
Instead, he still gets away, and with a pick in hand. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. And repositions for Creven's collection as well.
Oh, the dash accidentally back onto the other box? I mean, 7-4. 7-4. The last round for BCF is going to have to be disgusting. 7-4. We're talking defense haven. Why is everyone so good at defense? What's going on?
Yeah, that is a nasty shot.
I have always said that defense is more of an individual skill thing, and attack is more structure to me. A little bit. You could interpret it the other way around, I guess. But
Definitely happy with this scoreline so far. An opportunity to push it to ace, especially now you're looking at Doma's and Zeke's ultimates being online, both initiators.
Hello, Flyer. How you doing? Pacific defense of this map's crazy. Okay. I mean, they generally win this map, but defense on this map is hard.
A lot of post-plant utility.
Like 8-4 defense would be kind of insane to come back from. Gets it. What are they doing now? Did they flood in? Another flood in.
Oh dear.
With the
That's
breach
what we
shot.
want if you're BBL
Lovely.
Pacifics.
Love
And
that
they're on
TP.
jumps in
Beautiful
on
from
them.
Starkey
They're
once
trying to get
again.
the spike down. Starkey is there.
Easy peasy.
Not only to
Lemony
survive, but also
Starkey
keep the rest
peasy.
of BBL Pacific players back. This is daunting. This is scary to play up against and come back
Doma
into the crowd
being a bot.
to try and bring them back into
Hunting
this round.
frags.
Hold true to his name, Yas. He's from behind. He's there
Trying to
in
get that
case.
VCT
Will
interest.
Pacific get any other
Stat pad
ideas
in there at the
directing
end.
backwards, but instead, the
But I'm going to give him a
WTC
bad
Killers
reference
goes
after
just
seeing
out
that
the
one.
distance, and he's also great at closing.
Hey Minnie, what was your time like working with Doma? He's a fucking noob, don't bother.
Starkey and Creven, but Creven jumps the gun and might actually give BBL Pacific a chance. Spike in hand, Yas behind. He'll be closing in the distance.
Ultimate
Oh.
on plant as well, so if he can get a body, he can get this out. But is he going to be
Okay, all good, all good,
afraid
all
so
good.
early? Oh, no,
Doma saved,
not
Doma
until
saved.
the
It's all good.
information comes through. Was too little, too late. Zeke jumping the
You'll
gun,
forward this
but
info
had
to
any
Apex?
information that
Thank you,
Kevin
thank you.
could have picked up. And it's an 8-4 on the halftime for Enterprise.
You saw that LaRock clip? Yeah, it's pretty good.
We're getting to see the replays as
That's
well
pretty
from
good.
The half to begin with. That was incredibly spectacular, really. Back and forth, but it's Enterprise that seem to be in most control.
Who's
by the end of
Simone?
this one.
Do I know the coach from EP? I know of him. I don't know him. Like, I haven't talked to him, I don't think. I know who he is. Little. Oh yeah, Little's a bit more of a thing in Germany, I feel like. Little and Audi feel like more of a thing. Former bleed coach? I can't remember. To me, he's a guy who came from Counter-Strike. No, Alex R is the coach, isn't it? What do I think about the focus roster? I think the focus roster should be doing better than what it is. I think that they're a very good team, but they should expect more from themselves, I think. Like, they have too many good players to not be making it to like the grand finals, I feel like. Like, they should be grand finalists, really. They should be the second best team right now, I think. Like, Alaronte has been on my list for a long time. Obviously, we were at Mystic. Hoodie's decent. Like, especially on, like, agents that, like, are pretty hard to play. And usually, like, he's a bit of a specialist in those. Zus is good. And then your boy Lewis, I think it's going to come down to, like, whatever. Like, I don't watch them play much, but, like, if the structure and IGLing's there, that team should be doing very well. They threw that match show, okay.
And they're the favorites in this series. The upper seed, the team with the two bans, a lot to be done here.
Yeah, and looking at the setup from BBL Pacific, you have the Cypher trips over to
Last time,
similar to
last split when they
Enterprise,
played
it's
each
taken a
other,
couple of players
the
over towards this B
BCF came
side.
back from defense from a 9-3 to win. Okay, so that's good context. So they've been in this position before. And it seems like everyone's saying, like Flyer was saying their defense is good, but that is a hell of a way. The flood's coming in quickly, can they get in? Paranoia doesn't do anything, Loiter's dead. Still the flood is here, but it's been halted. Yeah, they're just dead, yeah. So it's going to be very fucking difficult for BBL. I wouldn't even be surprised if they force by now, but they shouldn't, I don't think. If they're as good at this defense as what people are saying, they should just eco.
That's going to save him a little bit of money as well coming into this one. You can see a little bit more of investments coming in from players. Doma's picking up
LaRock again, not having a great game.
A couple of Bulldogs coming through.
It's very strange to me. LaRock can be... LaRock to me is like the best tier 2 flash initiator.
Yeah, in 3 months that is impressive. That's what 6
But
to 0.
two games in a row now,
Didn't
not
necessarily
looking
hit
like
BBL
it.
Pacific in the first match, but in the last couple, might be that slippery slope that we were talking about. That Enterprise warming up into the series.
Does
and
EP have more potential
this
than
is
last
their
year's
norm with the
Apex?
13-3 on the previous and looking at
Apex had
9-0
Kayak.
now.
So like,
Gets scarier as we head in further and further into
I
the
think
series.
they do have more potential, but like I wouldn't
What?
If Loiter
put them,
pushes
if they got to
forwards
VCT, I
and
wouldn't
five
put them
players
like
like
much
him,
higher than
scary.
Apex,
Okay, that is scary.
if that makes sense.
But his life is an exchange.
Like they could
Gotta give
absolutely
information
beat
to
like
contestants.
some of those bottom
This is not the
4 or
best gun
5
for this
teams, but
angle, but we'll make it work. How
it
about
will be difficult for them, I feel
early
like.
pick in Garage? Now they can use that as a pressure point, but they may not even
It's crazy to me how the main general doesn't have many high-level Flash initiator players. I think it's true of all regions, to be honest. Like, people will point out Nismo, but Nismo had a dip, a very big dip last year, I think. Like, I love the guy. He was on my list of players, but, like, he dipped last year quite hard. Ethan as well is good, but, like, he can struggle sometimes, I feel like. Jonah P is the example of someone who's very good, but again, it's like it's such a difficult role. It feels like to get. There's no star player who plays Flash Initiative. Not a single star player that I can think of off the top of my head. Kron is like Kron and Woot, but then Woot's style is not like supportive.
This is one of the most comfortable bonuses you'll
Like
ever
Kron
see
is
a
probably the
team
most
do.
consistent.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the bonus you normally see.
Something on Breach.
A lot of space gained in Garage. Trips broken. Cam as well. So it has to be respected. I wonder if they back from it. Yes, they do.
Cracks misses half his lineups, and he's not been amazing this year. Patty's decent,
Potentially
but again, he's not like
use
he's
that
not
to
a
their
star player.
advantage to find a gap.
Pat plays
Breach
recon
through.
most of the time.
Talk about Breach.
Simon isn't a star player. Mazzino is the Mazzino's used to be. I don't know right now. Mazzino was one of the best. I'm not gonna lie.
But Enterprise are quick to switch up their minds again and go towards C. Starkey with the opener.
Mazzino had that star player quality, I feel like, as well as very good support. Leo would be that player, yeah, much like Kron. But even Leo's style is a bit more supportive. It's just he puts up numbers at the same time. Kicks, I think Kicks is fair. But he had a very good start to the year. It kind of dipped off a little bit, but that might just be a representation of where his team is at. Leo used to play Breach. I'm not talking about tier 2 players. Stacks has also not been like a high, Stacks isn't a star player. You guys are just naming people now. Can you stop? I'll ban the next person who names someone who's not a Flash initiator. You guys are being really stupid. Like, what are you talking about? Bang. Bang and Trent. Are you pissing me off? Envy's a good shout. But he doesn't get to go to global events very often.
Pacific, we know of them to be, and look, in the grand finals, they have looked like the weakest form, right? You more often than not, right? In every single match that they play,
Trent is valid. Shut the fuck up.
Right, they win with a big difference. It doesn't look close. The players, they're shining.
No, I wouldn't put Tens on the list. Tens is Tens played KO only, and it was mostly a right-click flash type of KO.
Against teams that you don't expect them to go into 5 maps with.
Is that where you think the experience of both these rosters come in, right? Because you're looking at Enterprise. We were talking about the old guard versus the new. And I think this is a very clear representation of both, right? Enterprise, you have such experienced players, previous world champions.
Narrate last year was that guy, but he didn't. He kind of mixed. He was mostly playing recon, mostly playing Fade, from what I remember.
They've been able to go so far. There were just one.
Did I have to adjust my sleeping schedule when I worked with Paper X? Yeah, I was waking up at 6 in the morning quite a lot, and then Alex made it so that I wouldn't have to, and I would just come in and like look at VOD specifically later on and just give them notes. But when I first was working with them, I was waking up I woke up at like 5 in the morning sometimes.
Become a reality at that point. They didn't actually make history in that moment, but they have definitely.
So normal shit for people who aren't in esports, to be honest with you. Not that weird, but rough for me.
And Enterprise are actually making a great move towards C. That's the Baron of the two sites, but it's not without BBL Pacific being close. They've actually rotated quite quickly. All four players are around. And
Flood in again. 4v5 though is going to be tough. And no guns. Simple from the Enterprise. This is very good signs. Very good signs. I'm gonna pre-fire the message to Doma. Should I jinx it? Should I jinx it?
Feels like this round just completely wrapped up in a bow.
I don't want to message him now because they're playing online, he's gonna see it. So I'm not gonna message him now. Because if I message him now, he'll probably respond with, yeah, I'll see you there or something. And I really don't want him to start. If I message him now, he's gonna not be locked in. He's gonna be an idiot. So I'll wait until the 5th map or the last map. If I message him on Twitter, he's not gonna see it, I don't think. I'll message him when they're about to win. There's no point in me messaging him on WhatsApp either. He'll just immediately look at his phone. I tell you, these kids just look at their phones.
For BBL Pacific, 3 down. They've only been able to get Starkey.
Oh, come back.
And enter Yas's hero's journey. It was starting to get a little bit out of hand. And Comeback wants to have another say Zeke. How is it always Zeke that kills him, by the way? Creven. And a 1v1, and I think he's just escaped
Creven.
Yeah,
Creven.
Simple. Zeke turns around and makes it a little bit.
Okay, comeback is good, yes. Victor was pretty good at fashioning. Again, like all the players we're talking about, none of them are bad, but none of them like there's never been a dominant one. Like Chronicle is probably the closest, I feel like. And it's not really, it wasn't even necessary. Kron had to kind of learn that role.
Fortunately, Creven,
you know what I mean?
Able to close it out, but
like Kron's natural role is probably Recon.
Perfection is required.
Recon Viper would be the natural. Like if you're gonna build a team with Chronicle as your star player, he would be a Recon Viper player, I think.
He is. Comeback is aware of him, and he's won pretty much every duel he's had for the past couple of rounds. And if he wasn't going to win that one, there was also assistance behind him. So I guess you've lured your opponent.
But luckily for us, he's just fucking sick at everything. So.
He's back to safety. Paranoia, that's good. It's strong. Stun coming in as a follow-up. Loiter needs to be careful. Comeback chiming in as well. He's been able to balance.
Bro, they've just abused C, haven't they? They love this C site. Mr. Doma? 12-5. I mean, it shouldn't. They should be fine, right? 12-6. How many chances, chat? 6. 6.
Pacific are starting to build some momentum on the defensive side.
Oh, and the flashes from Laurent
666.
Especially for them retaking through from the backside. That flash just pushes the kills.
Is there an offer to become an analyst, assistant coach? Okay, let me put it this way, and it sounds really cocky, but Kitten, there probably is an offer on the table from most teams if I wanted to be an assistant coach. I just don't want to. So
could be a prime opportunity to close this out.
I think they have to take
what thing need to be included in a good structure? That's a very broad question.
As well.
Dropping the Kitten is crazy. That's her name.
Yeah.
I haven't got the balls to just call someone Kitten.
Yeah, the observers always find a way to scare us a little bit, but still, BBL Pacific, I feel like it's more of a scary situation for them instead, right? Enterprise are the ones in control, and this timeout, I think, is well timed. Will it be enough for them to cross the line here?
Well, only time will tell.
I can't remember. I think Alex has directly asked me in the past about it. I think in the off season. But I don't want to like be clip farms for just that one moment. You know what I mean? Because to be like. Because like I said, like most teams would be interested. You know.
Yeah.
Instead, they're playing
Does
so
Mini have an
good,
econ?
Jose, starting
No,
off with
no
4,
econs, unfortunately.
clearing space over towards lobby. Should they start to push, especially as soon as they start getting contact of 4 players over towards lobby?
I don't think 16-year-old
This
me
could be a
could
flag
handle
flag from
Discord
both,
in that kind of
well, all 3 players
relationship
actually,
world.
but
I think it would have ruined
Kaz,
me as a person.
careful.
Ooh. The timing will be everything on this, and I think he's just escaped them. Oh, never mind. Comeback is able to take one step back and realize his position.
I don't think I could handle that.
If you Enterprise, you know you've just exchanged places with your opponents. Trip broken as well behind them and C-long, so they're going to have to be cautious about that.
For me, it was like Skype era, not like Discord kitten era was Skype era, not Discord. And it was a bit more sane. MSN was, I was too much of a loser for the MSN era. The MSN era was a bit like I wasn't popular enough to do anything back then. The Skype era was adjacent to like the esport kitten era, I think. I don't know what Friendster is. TeamSpeak era, bro. Me and my boys are still on TeamSpeak right now. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no TeamSpeak's not an era. TeamSpeak's forever. TeamSpeak's timeless.
Enterprise have found ways to make these types of rounds competitive, and especially with the Rolling Thunder available in Yas on Blades, you can't help but feel
You miss Vent?
this is still a round that is
I miss the noise that Vent made when you joined. Mumble was good because you could use Mumble was good because we once listened we figured out that you could put phantoms into Mumble channels so that you could listen in on people's conversations. So we once listened to I'm not going to say which org it was, but a very big org kicking their entire team. We managed to listen in on that entire conversation. That was fun.
For this site hold. One scary thing though, if Lafrock starts to get kills, he's one away from that Rolling Thunder. This could be a massive
IRC, I was around for the IRC days, but I wasn't good at IRC, if that makes sense. I could search for a scrim. I could find a mix. I didn't know what I was doing though.
Which isn't too bad, and the Ural theft is found from Killers. They realize everyone from BBR Pacific is on the right-hand side of the site. Sprint towards C.
I remember the invite channel. Yeah, I remember.
Because there's no ultimates for Enterprise, so they want to keep hold of this garage.
Q-bot, that rings a bell. I remember this stuff.
Active in this.
Aggression potential here for Enterprise, like you said. Garage push could come their opponents as well.
Is this smoke enough?
Distraction in long, but now they've realized the push is on. Yas looking to see if he can distract them.
Oh, they didn't get half. It should be easy peasy. Enterprise. Nice. 2-1. 2-1.
Gets himself behind his opponents. Enterprise do what was required of them. Not only did they manage to equalize the map score a moment ago,
just one more.
Are the team to beat. They're the ones that are
Why do I feel like this is going to 5 now though? This surely goes to 5.
Yeah, it feels like the last couple of maps have
I don't believe Enterprise just win this like easy.
Enterprise, especially in those half-time scorelines.
Split?
But a little bit of
Enterprise looked good on Split yesterday, but then they just didn't.
This one, and I'm worried. I'm starting to get worried for the reigning champs.
Yeah.
They were looking good. They lost a 1v4, I think, like here, and then just got dominated.
They'll have a lot to talk about this one as well.
Double dive. That one, the Yoru is kind of cool.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, BBL Pacific, I think a lot of us assumed this was going to be. They had the upper bracket advantage. They got 2 bans. 2 bans. Yeah. And we were kind of thinking, you know, 3-0, 3-1.
Icebox.
Those are realistic.
Enterprise are throwing. Like, if it goes to Icebox, it's going to be a messy fucking game. Because look at this shit. 3-13 against 0 tenacity.
Things are looking worrying. I mean, there were signs of mental boom, whatever you want to
Kayla's running back the Reina from 2021. Yeah, this is we don't know how to play Icebox kind of like stuff. So we'll see if they've actually made a real thing.
I don't know. I'm a little bit speechless at the moment. For Enterprise Esports, this is a
what are we talking about?
This is Sock's confidence building.
What's going on?
The largest component
Listen to
getting
this.
past BBL Pacific was getting through a mental block, right? Looking at this team and being like, okay, well, it's BBL Pacific. They're
Who
an
did Doma play with
ascension
VCT?
team. They
Doma
won
played with
last
Mike.
challenger stage. This is a difficult team, right? And once you get
Oh, is this me talking about child labor?
you can start actually playing
Right.
like
The only reason that I know about my child labor ways is because Pansies kind of made me realize it.
Absolutely. And for us Northeast representatives and Enterprise Esports, it's looking brilliant. It's incredible what they've been able to do here, shutting down BBL Pacific. And my theory
Should I run
right
ads?
now
You guys
is
want ads,
when
right?
we look
I'm
at
giving
the
you some
stats
ads.
that
I
happen
heard you
right
guys want
there,
them.
Larek, Loita, kind of performing under the weather. I think they had 8 kills.
3 minutes. It feels good. 3 minutes. I hope you guys look at stuff you want to buy.
In the voice and are usually hyping up the roster.
3 whole minutes of. I give the best ads. I give the best ads, the longest ads, the best ads. Some say they're the best.
It's really hard to hype up your team when you are like 4-17, 4-14. So that could definitely be the case for BBL Pacific.
There's a clause in my tenancy agreement that I have to get the windows cleaned, which is illegal, and I won't be doing. But if they expected me personally to clean those windows, I will die. I presume they want me to get a window cleaner, but again, illegal, not gonna happen.
Also the proactiveness that Enterprise Esports
But yeah.
they had a timeout in round 11 where I imagine they kind of
I just like the idea of me hanging out of my window trying to clean that, because I will fall and die.
And how they use those
Can you live stream it?
brilliant. The proactiveness right there.
I would turn my... I literally just turn my monitor around.
Under the completely secure the round.
It is very unsafe, my window. I get very worried when I open it that I will fall.
They're looking better than ever.
Where's the mode? I moved that from the mode apartment.
I'm not 100% sure what to think now we go into next map.
Do you think as a duelist sense matter? I mean, as long as you can entry comfortably, the answer is yes.
Enterprise definitely have the upper hand in terms of momentum, but BBL Pacific, we know that they have quality. We know they should be able to bring it back. And the only part where they...
If the answer is you can entry comfortably, the answer is no. Anyone who asks me about game settings or anything, I usually just disregard you and think that you guys are in your own heads.
Again, this is another one of the maps very similar to Lotus, despite the fact that it ended.
It's boring and uninteresting. Like, it's not particularly useful to think about. The answer is always, do you like it? Is it comfortable?
It's going to come down to, can BBL Pacific stop being tilted at this point? Because from what I can tell, that is what it is.
To me, when I hear someone talking about settings, I think you're a noob.
Kind of thing where you know they usually,
and that includes pro players, because pro players are the worst.
It seems like there's a lack of that right now.
Pro players are the worst. When I see them with multiple mice and mouse pads and changing their settings, I think you are a noob. And that applies to trophy winners. It applies to 10s, yeah. When I hear 10s with his shit, I'm like, this guy's a noob.
And like I said before this map, there has been 3 months since BBL Pacific lost their previous.
To be fair, I think there is something to the idea that, like, if you're able to change stuff, but you're not overthinking it, if you're like just changing it because it's kind of fun to change it, sure. But if you're changing for anything other than it's funny, like, I think you've lost your mind. Who is that guy on Fnatic? There are times where Alpha got in his head about settings, and Durka sometimes. Not too often. Boaster more recently had some things, I think, but I can see why with Boaster, obviously. Boaster has, like, really low sense. Leo would never. Kron gets very nerdy about it. You know what I mean? Kron gets very nerdy about it. So, like, Kron comes at it from a perspective of, like, being a nerd rather than, like, overthinking, if that makes sense. Like, I think there's a subtle difference between being a nerd and just overthinking it. What things should you pay attention to if you want to copy a comp from a VCT team? I was thinking about this earlier because I was watching some VODs for the Patreon. You have to figure out like what is the reason they're doing this setup and what does it try to achieve? What problem is it solving? And those, when I answer the question like that, it probably gives you very little value because it's like, it's too vague an answer, but that's the way I'm thinking about it. Like I was watching a team earlier and for some reason they had like 6 different setups, but had little changes in each of them in a way that I was like, I don't really understand why you're doing this. I think you're a bit lost. Whereas like if they were more concise with like, okay, we're doing this setup for this reason and it's going to try and counter this, I could see it better, but it seemed like they were just a bit wishy-washy. I don't like watching teams when they're wishy-washy. Hello Mari, what's up? Hello Cuba. What's your best advice to lead a team as a coach? Usually I would say this is too broad a question, but I think the best thing that you could do as a coach is provide a time after scrims for you to debrief every single day, where everyone on the team has to say something about the day, negative or positive. And by doing that, people actually speak and say things that are negative, which are kind of building up, rather than letting it build up, and destroying the team from the inside. You just let the players talk more. You have to be able to like mediate those discussions, and people have to be able to actually give direct feedback and not feel like they're being judged and not turn it into an argument and not just fight each other. So you do have to have a coach that actually talks properly, and you do have to have players that are willing to talk properly. Master Toronto final prediction, who will win? I'm a very boring streamer because I don't really like I don't find those things fun to do. Like I feel when you ask me that question, I get nervous and stressed. I get stressed thinking about that. Hearing honest opinions. I think the way I describe it is like young men don't like to share their emotions or feelings. If you give them the space to, though, they are more likely to do it. And all it takes half the time is to a slight prod, where it's like, okay, this player today has been really pissed off about something and it's annoying me. All I need to do is like ask them, oh, Dirk, you got anything to say today? And if it was Dirk, I'd be like, okay, I saw you got annoyed at this moment. Is there anything you want to talk about that? And then just be reasonable about it. Like I think that's probably one of my strengths, is just being reasonable about it. You know, if Boaster had something going on and he wasn't saying it and I knew he wanted to say something, you just ask about that thing. You acknowledge it. You make it feel normal. Like, I think making it feel normal and not judged is like the key part, I guess. And then you can be kind of direct and blunt about the reasons why they're being unreasonable or reasonable in the moment. What would be... Wait, what are we doing? If you had to create a 7-a-side VCT talent, who would you pick? Which position? 7-a-side? I don't know who's good at football, though. 7-a-side. What formation can you do with 7-a-side, by the way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is it? Are we doing Christmas tree? Okay. I don't know enough people in VCT who are good at football. Leo, me, and Boaster make the cut though, because I know that we're not shit. We need a goalkeeper. Ardis? Ardis in goal? I don't know. Tuiz is good. Ardis? Ardis claims he's good. Is Alpha good? Alpha's okay. Milan? Who? If you guys tell me Brazilians are good, then I'm gonna add them. I don't think Aspas is good. I think you've got the wrong read on Aspas. I don't feel like Aspas is good. Are we including performance coaches? I know that that our old performance coach Ryan was good. Tuiz goes up front because if your guys are saying it, he's as good as he is. Ardis says he's better than Leo. Ardis in the middle. I don't know where you put everyone else though. Am I being... Should I go... We need a left. I find less. Less? Is Les actually good at football? Do you guys know Les Oriens are good? Les? Should we go for synergies? Should we put Tuiz here so there's some synergy? That we're looking at synergies here, and then just put Leo up front. Hello? Surely Zipan is good. Why would... People think Rian's is good. The problem is that I don't know how good you think good is. When Fnatic ever played Heretics, apparently Leo, Boaster, and Ryan would just dominate Team Heretics when they would play football against each other. So it's like hard for me to know how good people are. So like this is like the strongest baseline, you know? And I know myself, I know I'm like not shit. And I know that I'm comparable to Boaster. So I would imagine there are lots of players who are better than me, but I don't know who they are. Who's the manager? Good question. Probably Colin, I guess. Check Aloe stats. Is Aloe like an actual... Oh, okay. Never mind. I guess Aloe... If he's got a fucking stats page, then Aloe goes straight up front. And we just go back that way. If Aloe's got a VLR for football, then he's going up front. What was the most tiring part about coaching? Just the hours, to be honest. The hours, and then you're also taking on the emotional toll of like minimum 5 other people. So that could be rough. Luckily, things weren't always that rough in Fnatic, but like, I feel very sorry for coaches that have to deal with teams that have issues. Because you end up thinking about it all day, like how can you solve these fucking problems in your team? It said he was a defender. It doesn't matter. Like, that's like saying, oh, fucking let's play Sentinel. We can't use him as our duelist in our Premier team. Like, we're terrible at football. If Alorante has semi-professional experience, he goes up front and he just wins.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to Valorant Challengers EMEA. This is an unfamiliar position here for BBR Pacific. In fact,
I don't know who
last time
Verti
they
is.
found themselves on the precipice of losing a best of 5.
Precipice.
It was 2-2,
Precipice.
and it was against Eternal Fire in
How good do you think Comeback is going to be in Tier 1? He will be one of the best duelists in EMEA. He'll be a top 5 duelist in EMEA. Probably more.
In a best of 5, and that one they were 2-1 up.
Why are all coaches so nonchalant, dead, and tired all the time? Because they do more work than anyone else on the team. And because they don't have to play, like the logic is because they don't have to play the game, their performance doesn't need to be as high. So they can tank the amount of hours they need to do as much work as they want and be slightly less alert for timeouts, but ultimately have provided more value probably overall. Whereas the IGL cannot literally stay up all night because they have to play the game and need to get sleep.
They have managed a 3-1 victory against the prior winners of Challengers EMEA, the team that everybody thought was in.
What do you think of Gentleman's going to pick up Proxa as well? I don't think Proxa played that well in the game today, and I don't really know who he is. So I don't want to, you know, I don't really know who he is. Oh, he was playing pretty well. Oh no, Proxa, this guy was good actually. This guy was good. Excuse me. He looks pretty good. I don't know if they are picking him up. I don't know how the team's working. But he's been pretty good.
That tells you a huge story. BBL Pacific, they have been dominating through and
Sliggy couldn't kick up to save his life. I don't think Sliggy would be amazing. I'm not saying that I am amazing at football, but I'm not bad, and I think Sliggy wouldn't be good, if that makes sense. Like you know when you watch someone like just dribble the ball, and you can tell immediately like, oh, they've played football before. When I watch someone like Bosa, I'm like, okay, he's played football before. You know what I mean? Whereas I don't know if Sliggy's gonna have that same finesse.
Well, it would be a dire omen, I think, if Enterprise Esports managed to start this one off with a pistol round win for sure.
And then there's like key moments where like you see them toe punt for a shot, and you're like, okay, they don't quite know how to actually shoot.
For BBL Pacific, right? Look, we said last time, you know, we're moving into Haven.
It's been visa problems for Chiwa.
13-2 was the last scoreline in BBL Pacific's favor, and yes, BBL Pacific did win split last time these two played against each other. But
Minnie, can you check if you're in Twitch? Only mod on Restream chat. I've not been looking at Restream chat. I've been looking at Twitch.
13-4 the other way for these two teams. So for Enterprise now,
I've been looking at Twitch the entire time because I forgot that I had, because I need to look for subs in case on Twitch. I've just now got the stream manager open and I forgot that I need to look at the other one. So I've just fucked up. The problem with this system is that it doesn't tell me when I get subs and stuff on the Restream chat, and so I just forget. So I apologize to anyone on YouTube. Pro streamer, by the way. Bro, this... I never claimed to be a pro streamer.
They kind of went on with that fade previously as well, but this is one of the most interesting switch ups for me. Like, what is the reason that they went for this? Because it felt like Dovo was quite comfortable with the Yoru going with the aggressive.
Wait, what have they done now? What did they change on split? Sorry?
Or maybe they felt that some of the synergy wasn't there. Maybe Yas wanted to get more value with that operator, because with Yoru you can obviously get more value with the operator. I think that's probably gonna be the key part when we look at this switch up.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything that you just said because I was just fixing my headphones, so hopefully there wasn't any awkward pauses there. But I'm assuming you kept it going. But I think we're about ready now to get moving on to the map. So I'll throw it over to Winter and Pavlos.
Do you think Riot should change the age limit to join Tier 1? They cannot. It's legal reasons. It's not. It's not like, I don't think Riot can change it. If they do change it, there's going to be massive legal implications, from what I understand. They didn't change, it's a bug, okay.
Yeah, and I think it is interesting to see a little bit of a switch up in the roles, right?
They might be, I don't know enough about it, but like there's going to be much better reasons than just Riot don't want 16-year-olds to work in the league. It's there's more legal implications. You're asking me, someone who used to just, you know, trial 16-year-old players to win Valorant games, like, you know my answer.
BBR Pacific won as the third map in the last best of 3 of these two teams played against each other. Just a couple of
I'm like one of
games
those
now.
Russian
Is this the
coaches who
opportunity
just
for
has those like
Enterprise to have a
gymnasts at
revenge
like 10
story,
years old. I
take
just
this
like,
off the hands
you
of
know,
BBR Pacific and close out here. Not
just
even
give me those
the opportunity
superstar
for BBR
aimers, man.
Pacific For Icebox to win the series.
I put them in the mines with no benefits. Yeah, exactly. You know, Thatcher was doing it to like men, grown men. I could be doing it to children. And there'll be no unions for the children. No unions and no milk.
Killers on the lurk and able to kill off Loiter before there's a chance of any counter action. This is a lot of space garnered here from Enterprise, and it looks like they'll look to try and take advantage of it. Over to this B site as well. Follow up, come back, good first shot. Looking to see if he can get some more pot shots in, but of course
Viper or B? Oh god, this guy's too good.
Keeping it going as well, yeah. Able to close attention right towards gotta also pressure the site. Rose and Larocque keep things pressured, especially when Larocque tries to close up the distance from the back lines. Kreven ends up dropping.
Who do you think gets comeback next year?
He's been spotted.
Like who do you think gets him next year?
Avoided. This is close. Larocque wanting to go for the swing, but he's also low on bullets. He can afford to go for the reload.
He's going to Gentlemates. He's not going to be okay. Okay, let me explain it this way. I'd be very fucking surprised if Comeback signed a contract to Gentlemates for more than the rest of this year. It wouldn't make any sense. Who would get him next year? Navi. Navi is a decent shout. I think Team Liquid are in a very good position, but whether they would open the bank account for him is another question.
And again into this one, starting off on the right.
To me, Team Liquid's position right now is Nats and Kiko are safe completely. And the other three, I think Patty may be safe. Serial is not safe. Camo might be, but if Comeback's on the table. Vitality if Durka leaves, I mean, Camo not safe. Camo's not safe in the sense that Nats and Kiko are safe. You're not safe if Comeback exists. Comeback is 11. Do you think that BBL could afford Comeback compared to like if another big team offered?
And it comes down to
I would imagine Patty's more safe than Camo for the instances of Patty having soft skills that like seem to be like talked about, like a vibes kind of person, and his role is extremely difficult to fill. It is very hard to find the role that Patty plays.
And he has completely taken over the servers for the past while, but this time around will not be allowed to run.
Like Miniboo's had a fantastic year so far. Kayak has had a phenomenal year. It's pretty much every team.
Nice shots coming in from Star.
I don't know what happens to Navi next year. Martin's too good. Like Casey isn't an option. Casey's not an option, is it? Really.
Now this is a little bit of a weaker
Vitality, it's Durka. It's like it's Durka. They would have to sell Durka, which is ludicrous.
Weak is the right way to put it, because it's not weak.
What's the hype with Comeback? Let me show you what the hype with Comeback is.
Attempted to get the orb. Not only does he get away with it, but gets a second orb, which troubles.
Sorry,
his opponent's life.
this is the hype with Comeback.
And
you just look at the numbers. Like he's 300 ACS. That's the hype.
But do you expect him to be in this corner already? Yes, you do. But it's not without the fight back.
Does he speak English? I don't fucking care. Bro, this guy could not communicate, and I'm picking him up.
So it's only Starkey that's not going to be on those premium rifles. But it has forced BBL Pacific to stretch out.
Bro, I'd make my team learn Turkish
on either side, so there's no
to get him.
possibility to overrun. Numbers in favor of Enterprise, at least on the site here.
Exactly. Better prospect than Zeus? Yes.
Actually,
Comeback is a better prospect than Zeus. Zeus is a phenomenal player, but Comeback is a better prospect.
Let Enterprise enter the site. Potential spike plant as
Does Zeus speak English?
Starkey gaining control
I've heard it's not
over
bad.
Pacific.
I've heard it's not
BBL
great,
Pacific are
but
gonna check
it
this. All three
exists.
players looking to
Let's
take
lock in
next
anyway,
shot.
because I'm talking about
Starkey
Comeback
at
too
least
much.
takes one down before he drops. But this is difficult still for Enterprise. BBL Pacific.
Oh yeah, Comeback. I forgot. Yeah, Comeback.
They need more than one.
Methodical.
They need more than one.
That's
forward,
funny.
so
Someone said
it's
Ryan
not a
Gosling because he does look a little bit
And
like Ryan
especially
Gosling,
when you put
right?
your back
And
behind
he'll do the
he's
silent
gonna let
drive
that
thing.
chance
We'll just have
pass.
him not speak. He does come to chat sometimes, and I forgot. Yeah, he comes here sometimes. I've spoken to him a couple of times whilst he's been in chat, so he can speak at least basic
Bonus
English.
Conversion, at least for BBL Pacific, in the sense of
He looks a lot more like Ryan Gosling than Chronicle does. I don't really understand that one.
Rose had through sewers, gets a second.
Comeback looks like a baby Ryan Gosling to me.
And a misread of the situation allows Lighter 2 quick kills on the way back into the site, on the way for the defuse.
Show a pic.
Just talking
Am
about
I really
defuses.
googling?
On the site hits as well. Enterprise now have Zeke's ultimate up on online.
He doesn't look so much in some of these pictures, to be fair. It's not the best example, but you get the idea. I mean, you get the idea.
No. Instead, just to gain an early advantage and a potential mid collapse, getting the upper level.
It's more reasonable than Kron.
Stand still.
It's more reasonable than Kron.
Yeah, and there's a lot of utility wasted for this standstill over towards mid, a bit of poking and prodding.
Eyes close together because Ryan Gosling nowadays. I mean,
Trying to re-clear on both
again, we're gonna give him more of it than Kron.
In fact, that it was Zeke's
Alright,
over towards
BBL,
B. That's exactly where
fade
BBL
info towards
Pacific
A,
want to stack
means they
up the
overstack
players.
towards B. Where's his Viper orb? Are they not holding middle at all?
BBL Pacific are okay leaving the majority of
What's going on? Hello?
them.
Sorry about that.
Trying to throw the nade in first might not be the wise idea. Still, Larocque getting one pick. And Enterprise yet to fully gain access over the site. Look at also Starkey trying to break through in Garage. I don't think he'll be allowed to do that. Come back there and waiting. Smoke fades. And that's when he comes alive. EP 20 seconds. And they need to play catch up. It is a 2v3. And they really need to make their way onto the site already. Tempting with the spike plant, but not quite going for it on the first.
Oh, that's
instance.
beautiful from Killers.
Getting very close and personal
Tough.
up against the players in heaven.
Nice try from Killers. I was about to say before the stream restarted that we saw 1 here and 4 here for BBL. It's almost like BBL's rotations are just very intuitive, and Enterprise are doing nothing to actually make them think sometimes.
And for the
If that
second
makes
Enterprise,
sense.
You could see the idea that they were going for. They had a player over towards
Like,
lane, and you wanted to use that nightfall to help split
BBL
out
are just
the
like
mid. The
horizontally
only issue is they
rotating,
couldn't get
stacking
the
where
lock on
they
because
feel like it's gonna
constantly
be,
on those peaks. You
and
had
it
support
seems to be
utility
working
as
a lot
well
of the time.
coming in from Rose,
They
and
didn't
with the
re-clear
nades,
B
with
main,
the
they didn't have
utility.
anything on middle,
Again,
they
yeah,
had
not
some
much,
information on
just
A.
an extra added bonus. It puts Enterprise down onto pistols, the stinger for Killers. You get onto
You know,
sight
Kremen
though.
is
could be
nearby.
scary.
Why are there less Sentinels on split nowadays? Because Viper is generally better, and people have finally realized that your arrays is the way to go. So last year, people liked to play Cypher with Viper a lot of the time. It partly comes down to Sky to some degree as well, like Sky not really being a thing as much. But in my opinion, it's mostly just because people realize that Viper's generally better, and then also that the double dive is generally better. Thoughts on Vice and Viper on split? I don't think it's very good, but there are teams that seem to be doing well with it. So I'd have to check it out a little bit more. I think that on your attack side, the Vice doesn't really. It's a defensive agent. And so you're gonna have to put up real big numbers on the defense. I really don't think it's like it can do cool stuff on attack with the thorns. Like the thorns can like bleed across like the higher and lower here, and probably bleed quite a lot on heaven. So the XX could be cool, but it really comes down to like how much value we're getting on defense with it.
Certainly a tall ask. Comeback keeping the outlaw.
Bro, open YouTube chat, please. Somehow keep both open. Bro, I do have both open, don't I? Or maybe someone asked me a question about Ascension qualifiers about 15 messages ago. I don't know what you're talking about.
Players off guard, especially since that's the loot component for EP.
Yeah, and even though BBL Pacific looked like they wanted to play aggressive outside of B already, and they do hold their ground and respect the utility thrown by Enterprise. So opportunity missed to kind of.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'll be honest.
Oh.
TP from
Who's been spamming something?
Yeah, especially with the pings coming out onto the position. But he can't be the first one to take initiative. It has to be this main force coming up through mid. You're looking at Doma on towards this duelist, picking up the mantle for Yaz.
Enterprise amping up the pace here, looking to play a little bit more explosively, but BBL Pacific have got a lot of players around and have got different methods to dealing with this. Kreven has run out of snake bites though, so he can't really use those to delay any further. Enterprise given themselves all the space they need. This is an off angle, you might not be able to read it, but Doma is able to blast pack himself out into the open. Larocque crunches out, and it is expected by Enterprise. Loiter delivering, but he's the only one that's been able to do so far. The site is fully under control of Enterprise, and even though BBL Pacific aren't nearby, there's not much they can do.
Hello from YouTube, hello. Right, let me lock in. Stop whining at me.
And even though Comeback, the star player of BBL Pacific, is the one left, it's hard to imagine.
Doma Ray's going crazy. Doma's always been. Wait, did they switch who's playing what, actually? Is that what they've done? Wasn't Doma on Yoru yesterday? On this map?
Try as he might though, Killers is there ready and waiting.
Yeah, they swapped around. Doma's Raze is always been very good. He was our carry when he played Raze. Like these are numbers from mostly a long time ago, but these are the numbers he put up with us. Like he was ludicrous on Raze, so I think this is a good choice. He was so good at Raze that we didn't put Durka on Raze for the first like 6 months of him on the team. Well, the first like 3 months, I guess, or so.
And we get to see a different look of Doma, right? Because Yas is usually the player that is in their opponent's face, you know, leading.
Do you think Baby J, AK, and Spire should be back in Tier 1? Maybe. I think that Tier 1 Valorant and NA is a lot harder to justify because there's so many fucking other teams. Like there's like a lot more non-English speaking teams. I could absolutely see him on like a team like
success on this agent
Lev, maybe? Who's the sentinel for Lev right now?
BBL Pacific players were holding towards heaven. Completely
like that kind of team? Tex? Okay, well, Tex is their best player usually, isn't he? If any of the Brazilians go international, I could see it.
You know, role. He could exert a lot more impact that way, perhaps.
Do you think Heretics would change? What? What do you mean?
Looking at Enterprise is looking like they're wanting to go for a heavy stack over to
Lars going international.
Off the back of Yas's ultimate.
The more international teams there are, the better it is for the NA. For NA. The problem is it's this weird thing where it's like the Americas League might become NA. It's a rough situation for them to be in. Half already. It's a weird plan. It's kind of good, but is it good enough? No. Do you think Domo get into Tier 1 again?
Yeah, for the side of Enterprise, nobody else wanted to come out on
I think it's easier on EMEA. Like if he was in NA, it would be a lot harder. But I think like
the utility from BBL Pacific
I don't see why not, to be honest with you.
But yeah,
I think that a lot of teams will prefer
with the Nightfall that everybody
players
knows
who
was
don't
run
have
towards that
tier 1
main
experience
section.
because they're more like
Can easily take over
potential
sides.
pop-off
Typical
players.
you have
Like
the
they
ball
could
from start,
like
but that's not gonna stop.
like we know where Doma's
Calls
skill
defuse
is at.
eventually will come
Whereas
through.
like there's more of a question mark over some of the upcoming players who might be able to like pop off further, if that makes sense. With that being said, I think Doma's a better choice than most VCT players for his role.
Alright.
At least like
How Enterprise are able to
the
adapt
teams that will
to
make
this.
changes.
With a frenzy, we'll have to settle for just that this one, and Doma.
I think Doma always got drawn the short straw because we kicked him for
Upgrade found.
non-skill related issues. And I think that's kind of had a tarnish on his name since. And I don't think Doma is probably the exact same person he was when he was in Fnatic in 2021. He's not a 17-year-old anymore.
Everyone's left.
It's a complete fake.
BBL
It's worked.
Pacific.
It's sold them.
have
Yeah,
gone
they
into
fucking
it, and even
bamboozled him.
Utilizing the dimensional drift over towards A because they have no information. They just want to gather some. And the only thing
I want to
they can
see how
gather
good
is
Killis is
question
here
mark
at
because
playing
there's
this.
no one home over
I hope he
towards A.
stays.
And sure, you get a little bit of a quicker
Or
rotation
just
back
rotates
over
across.
towards
That's
B, but
fine.
there's
If he rotates
nothing
across,
for you to
fine.
find except Yas and
If he
Spawn.
stayed, I hate when players start their lurk up into here before. That's nice with Yas too. The early kill.
This is brilliant stuff from
Like I think Killis should have gone up, but like not waited for this and now start lurking up. Very strange Viper ult. It's very awkward, but it works. It's fine. Nice from Enterprise. Good fake. Yes, Doma went to India at one point split.
But it's decisive. 3 players alive by the end of it.
What's crazy is I thought Doma was nearing 30 back in 2021.
They managed to sell it with an ultimate, Pavlos. It was just an ultimate. There was no player over there throwing utility themselves. Just a cosmic divide and an earlier kill in the round.
What was the reason he got from kick from Fnatic? Again, it was
like
like
even utilizing
just like
dimensional drift. It was a costly round.
it was just
All to be
I don't know,
fooled.
like it wasn't skill related. It was some more like attitude, kind of professionalism, I guess.
Yeah, those can be tilting. If you're
He did some silly things, and we just thought it was best to like
looking to see if they can
find someone else.
And he's so patient. He knows there's something going on.
But I don't think he's the same person as he was when he was literally 17 years old. So
Now could make a decision.
I feel like he got the short end of the stick a little bit on that one.
Per side of a map. Loiter spotted. Can't quite find the pick. B.
I think he was 17 at Reykjavik, yeah.
It might be the lead as well for Enterprise. Rose isn't very well equipped, and now being spotted out has no element of surprise to work with. Isolation of 1v1s, but can't even get past the first.
How tense was meeting when you and Boaster, between you, Boaster, and Kojo when you removed Sak and Mofoy? The meeting between me, Boaster, and Colin was fine.
Yeah.
Like, it was mostly me and Colin trying to convince Boaster that we needed to make changes. Like, we initially came in with our roster not making changes because I knew that like there was potential issues with the players on our team that in the long run. But I felt like it was a disgusting move to like try to join an org without the players that we had kind of succeeded with. And so it would have been a very bad move. I don't think Boaster would have dealt with it very well. But then when Colin suggested we make changes in the early fashion he did, I agreed with him. And the conversation mostly went me and Colin trying to convince Boaster that we needed to make the changes. There was a debate about which changes we should make, and it wasn't easy. Doma and Boaster were safe. Mystic there was a question mark around a little bit. Mo there was a question mark around, and Shaq there was a question mark around.
2 players per each angle, but you also see Killers looking to see if he can join.
Bro, Richo, I'm not in. If I wanted to coach, I would be a coach right now.
And on that 50-second mark,
I'm taking this year to figure out things. I'm doing a lot of different jobs this year to figure out what I want to do.
You're so comfortable moving those pieces, especially with comeback on this deep line over towards A, and the Viper's pit over towards mid. You're fine stacking your players on B.
Ooh. Does this low enough presence?
Another fake again. It's so funny. That, like I've like kind of implied it a couple of times this game, right? That like BBL I said it early on in the split. They were just rotating for this side of the map. They had one here, and they were just following the kind of intuition and noise, and they weren't getting punished for it. And Enterprise 2 rounds in a row now, faking A, and BBL bite on it completely. That's a question I have for BBL. When a team at VCT level, if they were to play, as soon as they play against a team that just understands they're going to be flood rotating through CT all the time, voice break, would they be able to handle it? Because what Enterprise are doing to them right here is just basic tier 1 level calling, you know what I mean? Like it's good, but it's like it's pretty like simple against. It's a very good counter to BBL's playstyle.
In this round to pull 2 players away, and of course,
do you have a top 10 EMEA tier list for tier 2 players? No.
Easily dealt with by
Who's the EP IGL? Apparently it's Starkey and then Zeke in mid rounds. I would imagine their structure is a bit flatter than most teams, with how much experience they have on the team, but I don't know. Hello Bonka. Who is the most valuable player in the world and why is it Boaster? I mean, I think it's... I was thinking about that yesterday. Like, someone did like a top 10 list of players and someone was trying to put Boaster at like 9th. And people were like, well, how the fuck could you put Boaster 9th? And I was like thinking, well, if you think about like valuable players, Boaster's top 5 all-time valuable player, right? Like Aspas and Boaster have to be in the top 5, I feel like.
As soon as Comeback got
it was F and S.
It just wasn't enough time.
Yeah.
Maybe this time they'll have the pieces in the right place, and that's exactly what happens with Comeback with the entry onto Yas. This is one of the
like it's hard for me to even put like some of like the other Fnatic players in that list because they all kind of got to play with each other, you know what I mean? Like, so it's difficult. Whereas like Boaster went through many different periods. I mean, Durka, it'd be hard not to put him there. He carried the fuck out of us. Most valuable. Most valuable. Who gets the most bang? Is Boaster more involved in Team Macro than other IGLs? I would imagine so. I don't know because I've never coached anyone else.
Indeed, Rose is going to be able to spot a lot of players. Doma using his showstopper to see if he can clear out.
What the fuck is LaRock doing?
That's a bit chaotic. Zeke.
BBL keeps sneaking these rounds out, man. Like Enterprise were about to be on a massive fucking half. Like, they were looking like they could have had a massive half, and then once again, this is exactly how Split went yesterday. It was about like 6-4, and then there was like an eco round that like BBL won. Luckily this time around, Enterprise are winning rounds on attack side, because last time BBL just absolutely smashed them on defense. On BBL's defense.
The streak Enterprise were putting together, and a heroic round from Kraven with the
Isn't this map T-side? Yeah, I mean it is. It is a bit. Well, it's not T-sided. It's even. But if you play T-sided comps, it's T-sided. So both teams are playing T-sided comps. In my opinion. At least they're slightly more T-sided, from what I can. From what I would intuit. I don't have the actual numbers on me.
Yeah, and even Yas coming up mid, getting some information.
Do you think Focus or Koi have a chance? Focus or Koi have a chance against any of EP or Beast? You mean the Koi Academy team?
If you can even make it though.
Focus need to have a bit of a resurgence. I think Koi will find it hard. Focus have potential on paper. His name is Leo and he'll be back. I like that, Bonka. Love that.
Before the spike plant committal, 7-5 is the score. Enterprise in the lead. On their opponent's favorable side as well. Alarm bells are ringing.
Alarm bells are ringing.
In danger of giving away their throne.
Killers. Sage needs buff? No. If Leo is back, will you be back? No. I'll be back if I want to be back. Leo being back makes it more exciting, but no, it's not. My relationship to coaching isn't tied to Leo. Is Sky a possible pick for this map? A few American teams have been using her. It looks pretty good. I think playing Sky is just, you might as well play Fade. You're playing Sky if you don't have a Yoru on your team, probably. But I think that you might as well just play Yoru for Fade. You play Sky in moments where you need double Senti or like because you're playing Raze or something. Yeah. If I came back to coach, I'd be Fnatic again or a different team. I'd imagine a different team. Like, the way I'd approach coaching is a team would have to give me a very good assistant coach offer, which is considerably more than what most teams would give an assistant coach. Or I'd be a head coach. And if I'm head coaching, then I'm probably not head coaching for now. What lineup would be the most interesting to coach? You mean lineups that are playing right now?
7 out of 7 pistol rounds,
I like Viper on Sunset. The problem is that I was getting screenshots from Wendler about how bad Focus's Viper rules were, because they did look pretty bad. So if you're gonna play Viper, you have to have good Viper rules.
Hey, we were talking about the pistol stats. Enterprise have yet to lose one in this series. Now would be the ultimate time for BBL Pacific.
Sorry for being annoying. You just want Paper X to be disciplined. You're never gonna get that. You're never gonna get that. Ooh.
Oh my god, he doesn't need any help. He needs no friends.
Nice nade, Doma. Yas gets 3 one-shots.
This round,
Doma throws a nade.
Loiter and Kraven, all that remains. Sure, a bit of a lurk coming in from Loiter, but
Doma?
surely you'll be able to read it in time. Doma turns his attention
Nice.
towards him. Headshot ends up connecting. The timing is impeccable for Doma. And Kraven,
If you and Sliggy were to be coaching a team, which way around would the head assistant coach be?
everybody will look in your direction.
I think I would be head coach. I don't think Sliggy, like if Sliggy had the choice, I think he'd prefer not to be head coach.
But Enterprise, what a solid hold. And of course
He'd prefer to just be looking at like strats and stuff.
And realistically for Kraven, yes.
What are my thoughts on Cloven pro play? I think it's kind of crap. It's not good. Oh. It's like, it used to be crap. It's now actual crap with the nerf. Like it's genuinely bad.
Of course he can't have anything to assist him in that endeavor. He was alone. 8-5. 8 out of 8 pistols from this series.
8 out of 8. I don't want to hear any BBL copium about the pistol rounds.
They've only been unable to convert one of those.
8.
And that was on a map that they ended up winning 13-3 anyway, so it wasn't really much of an issue then.
Sure.
But for the side of BBL Pacific, you're in the situation of you've been forced over onto the attack. It's not the favored side.
Breach definitely out of meta since Tev's out. No. Hey, Natank, is that Natank? The way I describe meta is that meta doesn't equal good, right? Meta just means popular. I don't think Breach is good, but it will be popular on Haven, Sunset. If I see it on Lotus, it'll blow my mind, but it shouldn't be popular on Lotus. I think Breach is reasonable on Split and Fracture. I think anywhere else you're kind of trolling, but does it feel bad? Like, does the nerf feel bad? Like, this is before me even thinking about the nerf, by the way. Does the nerf actually feel bad in game? I haven't played Breach. I don't play Breach in ranked. The timings feel off. Oh, okay. Breach is dead then.
But from the last few maps of this series,
They're basically like, it feels like right a hard forcing a non-exec kind of style to the game again. Like they really want a non-exec style. Like no overwhelm. Like Breach and Tear represent like the most overwhelming agents in the game, really.
You can see Starkey looking to join him in that effort. They haven't cleared out the entirety of B. Surely you'd think someone
I would rather just play Viper on Haven than play Breach. Is the way I would describe Haven. But it would take a little bit of time, I think, for people to realize. You think Sky is going to be played more after the nerfs of Tear Breach? No. I think that you should be playing Yoru, Fade, and Viper.
They normally have this air of dominance surrounding them. When we say Enterprise seems like the only
Sky isn't necessary in a world where you have Yoru, in my opinion. Sky was played because she was able to provide flashes in comps that didn't have flash options.
Not here.
What are Fade's best maps? I mean, she's pretty good on pretty much all maps. I would play Soba on Haven and Breeze. Pearl is debatable.
That's 2 players spotted out towards mid.
What would you do to make Sky more useful against Yoru? Against Yoru? You mean in comparison to Yoru? I mean, you just need to make her stronger. Like, give those refreshes. If she has refreshes or something. Oh yeah, Icebox. Yeah, Fade's ass on Icebox.
And even spotting players out over towards A, and it's just a cleanup all across the map. A double kill in mid, a kill over towards ramp, and even Kraven spotted out, stuck in towards the corner.
Yikes. Well, at least the
She say Focus is a good team. I never watched Focus play. I've never watched Focus play. I've kept up with their results a little bit. They have a very good team on paper. Their results should be slightly better than them.
He finds himself a new toy. He doesn't really have any friends to play with.
Bro, this is
Enterprise.
Should I message Doma now?
With him, not even thinking about going for this fight, knowing how important it will be for them to just hold down each side.
I'll message him now. If he doesn't win, I delete this message. If he doesn't win, I delete the message. I don't put him off. How was your mental so strong on the 11-3 moment?
Last time out for BBL Pacific.
Because I'd been in many positions like that before. It's just that they weren't on as big a stage.
Crack down and figure out how to break through this defense.
So like I had those same feelings in the past.
Rock solid from the East representatives.
I don't know.
So many ultimates as well, in the sense of you have Yatas available for retakes. You have
like realistically, when you're the coach, you don't have to do anything. So it's like, why would you be? Why would you not be able to like be reasonable? If you know what I mean. They choked a 10-2 lead. Yeah, I saw. Was that on like Ascent or something? I saw a massive lead that they threw. Yeah, it was halftime as well, Murray. Thank you. I forget. Yeah, it's halftime.
Get into the heads of a squad that knows they can take.
It's funny how easy it is to tell stories wrong. Like esports makes me think about it a lot. Like I really know my shit about a few things. And like how easy it is for narratives to slightly skew into like what they're not.
Coach on the mic. They've praised him in the past. See what kind of conversions he can get into this one. He's called for
like the story is better.
Over towards B, sorry. Poking and prodding towards mid. Not gonna find anything. And a one-way.
Like Doma not being top 10 player of all time. Oi.
Starkey. He was the first one to get a pick. Rose reveals his position, but Yas just takes a peek behind him, and all of a sudden, this round feels done. Spike definitely in the hands of your opposition. And with 1 minute to spare,
What's that?
Pacific
What?
need to bring the
Why was that
individual
body
heroes
moving?
online. Smoke out, Killers peeks right through it, and he feels comfortable.
Did you
doing
guys see
so.
that?
2 kills found
There was a body
simply
moving.
with a snap of his fingers, and come back. The clutch man himself.
Have
is
I
very
played
good for the
cricket?
one before he falls.
Yes.
Economical discrepancy.
I have played cricket, yeah.
Knocking on the door of success here. 1 round away from putting this grand final
Like,
behind them and
cricket
being
when I
the
was a
new
kid,
champions of the
not
region.
like
You're talking about needing individuals
not
for the
not
side
like
of BBL
good.
Pacific to step
You know
up,
what I mean?
and
Like
instead you have that of Enterprise. Killers.
My
Hansi
God.
top in the charts, but the rest of the team aren't far behind, and it just feels like it's.
This is kind of like this is
BBL
kind of
Pacific
dominant, by
coming
the
into
way.
this one. They try
I can't believe I reverse
multiple
cursed
rotations
BBL.
towards mids. Now with the dimensional drift online,
The
they go
GOAT
for
tier 2
aggression. This might
team
be an opportunity to
can
get an
only
entry
get
kill, but it's denied by Killers.
Comeback was really hoping he could get
less
away
than
with something
30
better.
rounds across
Really
4
would
maps.
love any opportunity to pull his team across around, but it's given enough space for the spike pot to go down.
Viper ult post. Viper ult heaven. It's a weird Viper ult. Very strange Viper ult. Why is Zeke in CT spawn with an operator? Hello? Look at him. He gets 1 kill. Ult. He's got the best phantom in the game. Look at him, man. Why is he double blast packing? I have no idea.
It's a repositioning from Loiter. In the corner, Zeke finds his mark, but Kraven hides within the
Oh.
shadows as well. Doma tempts the spike defusal, and Doma will be sticking it, finding Kraven at the final instance.
I got it confused. I did a caster moment. I thought EP were fucking the other team for a second there.
Now the team to beat in challenges.
My God.
A new team crowned the champions, and who better to be from the region that failed to make playoffs, that had 4 teams entering in split 1, and yet nobody made it. And
Oh, Mini!
Okay. How are you?
I'm good, Mini, and you?
So I had a message from you last night. What was the message? Yeah, one sec.
well-
One sec. I got. There's a lot of messages here, but there was a message saying, where was it? You said something along the lines of, "Imagine we beat BBO tomorrow." Oh, here it is.
Well, we had to wake up 10 a.m. We had to finish the other official. Plus, they had 2 bans on us, bro. And we won. So, yeah.
That's crazy. How you feeling?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm feeling great, bro.
You can hear the smile on your face. That's how I.
Yeah, I
describe it.
mean,
I can
of
hear
course,
that
bro.
smile.
I haven't won anything in 2 years, 3 years.
Okay. I have an important question. Important question. So
Go on.
if you look at my, can you see my screen on stream?
1 sec. Yeah. I see.
Any responses to Loiter here?
I mean,
They're
I'm
playing
gonna be
so bad we can't understand their game because of that. They're very hard. I mean, I guess they're saying they kind of are saying, I don't know. I'll let you speak.
I mean, I was trash talking them a bit after we beat Focus and we were coming to face them like last time or on the BO3 in the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, they're just kids. I'm gonna be a humble king and say they're just good. They're good, and yeah.
Come on.
They'll realize. They'll realize. They'll realize. What? What do you want me to say? No. Okay. Shut up.
Come on.
They're gonna realize one day that trash talking after the game is cringe. They were actually confident and good. They would trash talk before the game. Not having these little like trash talk BM moments after they win. That's kind of, you know.
But did you trash talk first?
Cheap.
Did you track to it?
No. I think the beef goes all the way to when we first played them in last year.
Oh, okay.
Because they wrote some stuff. Kill us, like, I don't know if you saw his original tweet, but Larok tweeted like GG easy bots something.
Okay, fair enough. Right. So what does this win mean for you? Because I don't understand the Ascension League at all. How big is this? 9 points. Where's the leaderboard?
Wikipedia has a good one. No, this is wrong because all the teams are like together on the same leaderboard. So all the regions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we should be guaranteed now. Pretty sure we have like.
What
14.
does that mean? Guaranteed what?
Ascension in September, and I think it's
okay.
full LAN in Berlin. As far.
Full LAN in Berlin, like the entire Ascension run?
Yeah, I think so. As far as I know, yeah.
Okay. And then who do you think is going to be making that with you?
Probably like Eternal Fire, BBL Pacific, Focus, CGN maybe.
CGN are
And
pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah.
What about
CGN
this
are good.
Koi team? What's your thoughts on this Koi team?
They're okay. I mean, nothing special. They did get 26-5, so.
26-5?
Yeah, I mean, no, it was 13-5.
That's true.
And yet, Koi can't go Ascension, right? There's no academy.
Anything to say after that today?
After what?
I'm baiting you so hard here.
Bro,
After
Mini
the
is just
replay,
instigating me to
I'm
flame.
instigating.
After
I'm a
the
tier 2
replay,
instigator. Bro, you guys were not happy. You guys were not happy.
No, of course we weren't happy because of course. Okay, if it was a close game and if it actually that round mattered, then okay, yeah, sure, go remake. It was like 13-9, 10, whatever. But okay, so their whole reasoning is their team had a mental boom after that. Yeah. What I can say to that? Just get us.
So like
just
they
get a
reset...
sport psychologist and it's fine. No,
So what you're saying is that the tech pools issue didn't sustain for the entire 13-0.
Yeah, no, I mean I don't think it affected. Of course, it affected somewhat.
Yeah,
but they still.
But like the actual issue that happened wasn't during the entire game.
Yeah, it wasn't like affecting the whole game.
Okay.
But what I don't understand.
Those are your words,
what...
not mine. I'm out of this. I'm just an interviewer. I got nothing to do with this.
No, but my confusing part about all that was why did they still go and do a B exit? You know, like we still had a perfect read on them that round. We knew exactly where they'll go. I did 500 damage with the Spectre, and they just executed B still instead of just like staying AFK next to the AFK player and whatever, we remake. No problem.
I think the problem, I'll give some benefit of that. Like the problem with the tech pool stuff is that like if you like I've had this argument with Siggy before where it's like you can stand still and call your tech pools. The problem though is that you're basically saying that you are you know more than the referee, and the referee will just be like could end up just saying, well, you can stand still what you want. It's not a tech pause, if you know what I mean. In instances where like it's not so obvious if it's a tech pause, like in instances where it's really obvious it's a tech pause, then you probably need to just stand still. But then I think that Riot would get worried that if players just start standing still every time that they want to call a tech pause, and then it's not a tech pause technically, like it sets a really bad precedent. Like,
yeah, I guess.
I mean? So it's tough. There needs to be. I think you're right though. Like I think there needs to be like a better understanding. Or like a better protocol around it.
I think it's the rule. Like I think mostly is the rules.
The problem, Keeper, with typing it in chat is that you type tech and then everyone freezes, but that doesn't mean that you should have the power to make everyone freeze in the round. If I call a tech and it's got no, if I just am a player and I wanted to take a tech pause, but I secretly had nothing wrong, I type tech into chat, everyone stops. It's bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of bullshit. So I think that
I get
ref,
both points, right? And of course, I think
have the power to take a tech though. I don't know. It's not so clear. I don't think it's clear. Anyway, back to the win. So win today. Can I ask you about split? You were playing Yoru yesterday. You played Raze today. How did that change come about?
I think it was more so like I've played two times Yoru on split already, and I think they know I'm not like the best opper, right? And Yoru is more op agent. So I was playing super only when we had op. I was playing really passive angles and just to get those kills, right?
Yeah.
But whereas Yash played op 5 years now, and he could bring them a better, like he could do better opping on defense than what I would have done, you know. And my Raze is pretty good still, so it's like, yeah.
Is this the first time in a while you've probably played the Raze?
Yeah, I haven't played it for ages. Yeah, Maybe I played it like 1-2 games in Turkey ages ago, but
yeah, right now you're a Breach man. What about Breach? Yeah. Okay, what about your thoughts on Breach post nerf? Have you played it?
No, I haven't tried. I haven't played much of it, but I think it's a big nerf, no?
Yeah, people seem to think it's bad.
I think now if you like stun peek for yourself, it's kind of hard to get a kill off it.
Are you surprised by anything here? Like, did you expect this map? I expected this map veto with the Ascent and Sunset bans. Did you expect it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, we knew they're gonna ban Ascent because it's our decent map and it's their permaban. And then for the second ban,
you thought
like
Lotus or Sunset, I guess.
I think we were thinking Sunset because all the other maps they're pretty good on.
Why do you? Well, what do you think happened? Like today, like you have just dominated them. To be honest, like what do you think that is? Do you think that you guys were just fucking on it, or do you think they were being shit?
I think they just low-key shit their pants on the second map especially. Because like last time
they couldn't get back momentum after this map.
Yeah, I think so. After 33, they just got
Sorry, I cut you off. What are you gonna say?
I'm just saying after the second map, after 13-3, they didn't really reset at all, and they were going into Haven, which they stomped us on last time, like a few days ago, and then we started playing good on it, and then they just couldn't do anything really.
Cupid said, I tried to put you on Raise, but got griefed by Org.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of shenanigans.
What does that mean?
There was a lot of shenanigans back then in that org, so...
I don't know. What team was that?
We'll leave that off stream.
Okay. So do you think that this is going to be a problem for BBL going forward? Is this like ability to... Like, we saw last year in Ascension Finals, like they were like the heavy favorites and then couldn't win. Do you see this as like a potential narrative going forward that like they're not great in these? Do you think it's like high stress moments, or do you think it's just they don't know how to lose yet or something?
I think they're like when they farm, they're unstoppable. Like when they're having good games, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think probably just experience, in my opinion, it's what's bugging them. These like high pressure moments. Because last year in Ascension, they also lost to quite an experienced team. You know, what they had Solkas, Savova, Moldsy, like all these people played these types of game, whereas they maybe didn't.
Could I ask you about your team a little bit? Like, so wait, is this Starkey Playboy? Oh, okay. I remember Playboy Starkey. I didn't realize Starkey was Playboy Starkey. Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay. So people are saying Starkey's your. I don't know too much about your team, right? Like I know the players on your team, and I know that like Foxy told me that you guys mostly run around. But so Starkey, IGL, and then Zeke mid rounder. Is that how it actually works, or is it more flat than that? Like.
I think it's I mean, Starkey gives the like big picture calls, and then Zeke kind of polishes. If that makes sense.
But I'd imagine with you and Killers too, there's probably.
But we had like big troubles in the past, and then we got Alex R.
Okay.
And then
So who did Alex R replace someone, or was he just coming in?
Yeah, I mean he replaced.
Like I'm not trying to throw a coach on the bus. I just was wondering if you had a coach.
He replaced Legia.
Oh, okay. Oh, I had a feeling someone in my chat thought that Legia was working with you guys, and I presume that they would be working together because Alex R and Legia are German and know each other, right? Are they friends?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they are there.
What do you think that Alex R brought that was like new?
I think his anti-strat is very good.
Okay.
That's like the main point. And then like, I think polished our attack sides.
Like I can't ask too many specific questions about anti-strat, but is there anything about, because the thing I was noticing is that BBR are a very rotate heavy team to the point where they will just stack where they hear noise, and you started doing a lot of fakes on split. Was there any of that in the game plan at all, or is that just something that was noticed during the game?
I think, they all maps they play kind of similar. They like to over rotate a lot. So as long as you like work the map properly, you're gonna find a very weak side if you do it properly.
Can I also ask about? There was a 1 round on Pro. I don't know if you remember where you guys were going art split, and then you go to run to B. And then you had like no time left, and you run back to A. What was going? Yeah, what was going on in that round?
That's a typical EP round. Just run around and pray you get the kills. I'll be really. I mean, like that defense, they played very good because they like bunkered very well on Pearl. Like the Cypher survived, and then they all. By the time we make noise, they're all just there spamming us. So.
Did you op much on? I remember you getting like a nice deep kill. You like push B long, had a nice op kill on defense pro. Were you oping much on that game? You said it wasn't really because when you said I wasn't comfortable with it, I was like, yeah, but you did go deep long B and get like kills. So
I mean, I was oping a bit, but not too much in games really.
Okay.
But obviously, because of the roles, it made much more sense for me to op on Euro.
Cool. So what's next for you guys? Is it now going to be the Ascension? Is that Ascension not like it's a long break before Ascension, right? And it's Ascension, or am I wrong?
Yeah, it's like nearly 2 months until Split 3.
Okay, so there is a split, but you've qualified already. Is that what you're trying to say?
I think we are like 80-90 guaranteed for Ascension. But what was I saying? So there's like a 2-month break, then Split 3 in Northeast, and then another Challengers. And then Ascension in like October.
That's interesting. I wonder how much the seeding will matter because you could come if you know you've qualified to the thing. You could start being a bit cheeky. Like when Fnatic last year, we would we inted our vetoes sometimes and like we're trying out maps and different comps and stuff a little bit when we know we made champs, you know?
Yeah, you got that.
So you could do a bit of trolling there, Doma. Do a bit of trolling. None of that NA stuff though. I'm not going to go there with it. Don't do any of that NA stuff. But you could do a little bit of right. Lastly, what was I going to ask? I had one more question. My mind's gone completely blank, Doma. Anything you want to say to the fans, the Enterprise fans across the world?
I don't think we have that many of them, but to any of them,
the millions of fans. Where's the millions base? Is it a Czech or
Czech? So where Magnum is from?
The
remember EP Magnum, bro?
EP Magnum, I do remember EP Magnum. What I remember about EP Magnum was him playing Raze and having that one strat on Haven where he would take the spike
from window. And plant.
He would take the spike from window and double satchel.
And double satchel and plant.
Yeah, plant the spike.
Yeah, that's EP. That's the same
Magnum
team, same
used to play fucking Raze. Did he play with who else did he play with? Was it Mini or someone? There was another Czech.
Mini, Alexic, they were all at EP at once. Benji was in EP.
Oh yeah, Benji Fishy's first real team was this orc, right?
Yeah.
So this orc is actually doing pretty well, reasonably speaking. To have a team with Benji Fishy and then have this team doing this well this year, like, it's interesting. Anyway, yep. So any closing remarks, Doma? I'm gonna shoot off. Any closing remarks?
Really. No.
I mean, well played today. Thank you very much, Doma. Thank you for the interview.
Yeah, bye.
I'll see you soon.
Bye, chat. Bye, Mini.
Wait. How are you going to celebrate? How are you celebrating?
Going to bed, bro. I woke up at 10 a.m. went to sleep at 5.
I know you. You ain't going to bed.
I'm going to bed. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. See you in a bit. Right, everyone say thank you to Doma. Say thank you to Doma. Nice interview from Doma. He gave a little bit of spice, but he didn't get himself fired, so... Anyway, right. So, I'm gonna go. I'll probably do some VOD reviews tomorrow. I can't promise when, but I'll probably do them. I don't want to play ranked. I'll probably watch MIBR tomorrow. I think I'm in to watch some MIBR. So let me have a look quickly. Is there any VODs? Like, I want to watch... I watch their run here. I don't really want to watch them losing so much. So maybe I want to watch them play versus crew. But did they get shit on here? I mean, it was a close game. Maybe I watched G2 versus MIBR. I think this is a very solid game to watch for both teams, right? Very close series. G2 being G2, and then MIBR. And so I might watch one of these two games. Potentially watch this, but they kind of shit on crew, to be honest. So I think tomorrow MIBR VOD review. They got owned by top 2? I don't think they got owned. 15-13, 13-10, 13-8. I think this is a very reasonable VOD review, to be honest with you. I won't be answering any more questions. I'm gonna go. I can answer that tomorrow, Tassos, if you're if you're on the stream. But appreciate everyone coming. Thank you, YouTube. I think I figured it out mostly. Apologies that I wasn't so quick on it, but I'll see you guys a bit. Who should I raid? Who do you want me to raid? Zach Kappa? Should I raid Zach Kappa? Zach Kappa. I'm not raiding Prod. He's got 2.3k viewers. He doesn't need my raid. Right, yeah. I raid Zach Kappa. Yep. So once the raid's done, see you guys a bit. How about Bren? I didn't see Bren, but you're going to Zach Kappa. See you guys.